Hi, I've been back from break for a while, VOD watchers. Oops. Anyway, here's the VOD for Casey Noir. We still have I Am Your Beast open. We still have to do Scrandle. It's a mess, but I tell ya, it's a hot mess. Is it not? Been spending a lot of time as Fauna lately. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. I've been a furry rather frequently lately. It's not my fault, it's a very fun design to play around with. And that there are many artists in the community who encourage me to do so. And also artists in the community whom I can commission to do so as well. You know? That's not exactly my fault. I don't think these hotkeys are gonna work though. They feel bad. We'll switch to this one for Chandel time. Window capture. There we go. Time for today's Chandel. Can we... I still don't know what I'm supposed to say. I feel like can we choose it doesn't really work. Can we choose it? Yes we chan. The yes we chan, that part works. The yes we chan works for sure. But the first part, not so much. All right, gotta start with the Saito Gambit. Give me one moment, please. Can we who's it? I suppose that works to a degree. I just joined what happened. I have a model by Nick now. Nick Ruse in the community. Also, the artists on the next game that we're about to play that I need to hold on. Casey, is it gonna have a Twitch category? Casey Noir and the carved pumpkins latte. There it is. All right. Just change that real quick. All right. So it wasn't Saito. It's earlier than 2025. It's less than 9. Okay, this is not giving us a lot to work with. Let me go for Trolley Chan. Is that an option? Oh, this is an early one. Ooh, really? Bandage Chan? Let's go really early. Bandage Chan. That is the right year. It's not from Slay the Spire, so it's not Bomb Chan. I knew it was No, couldn't have been Bandage Chan because it's not Merrick. Okay. What happened to old PNG Tuber? We swapped them rather frequently. I miss it. I've legit never watched this fella before. Well, hey, welcome. Normally I look like, well, I've been switching it up a lot lately, but normally I'm supposed to look like this. I would say my quote-unquote gimmick as a PNG tuber is that I wear a lot of different faces and costumes and outfits and forms, you know? I just have quite a lot of them. And right now we look like this. Barry is one of the proofreaders on Casey. Happy to have you. Hope you enjoy the stream. All right. So it is 2019. Only one. 29 or more than one. Not Slay the Spire. God, I don't even know. This is going to be a really early one. Shit. Is it Red Square Chan? No, because that's Merrick. God damn it. Oh, fuck. Oh, no. It's a really early one, and it's not Merrick. That's brutal. I wasn't in the community until 2020. I'm not going to know any of these Chans. Especially not ones that Merrick didn't make. Hold on. Wait. No, that have way more hits, but we'll try it. Is it Pickle Nagito? And no, and that was 2018. Only 4? We may be fucked. It's very possible we're fucked. I don't have the faintest notion. Okay, well. I should have known. I should have known. I was thinking it was Insatiable Despo, and then I was like, oh no, because it's not Merrick. That one's on me. I should have known it was Trash Chan. I should have known it was her. There are only 3 of them now, and I'm 2 of them. This one was a banger. The only art I've ever drawn using Clip Studio Paint. Anyway, Scrandle time! Hope you got those bets in. Can we choose it? Yes, we scran! Let's get to it. It's a Friday. Oh, fuck, it rolled over to Friday Scrandle. We're done for. What? Well, a red-necked phalarope free from the air. It's no, it's still Thursday, but it rolls over at like 6 p.m. EST. Shit. Okay, that's a very nice bird. I don't think it's going to get a higher Scran rating than... Is it going to get a higher Scran rating than a tub of sausages? Choose bird for the furries? Your wish is my command, I suppose. It was the bird! Well, people do love their chicken, I suppose. Oh, Christ. Oh, no! Oh, no! Thing Japan doesn't matter here! It's all Japanese! It's all Japanese! Oh, fuck. What is this? Oh, my God! No! I can't even identify what that is. Right. Fucking oops, all Japan. Shit, that's a good-looking bento. Spaghetti and Listen, I think this takes it, both because it's cheaper and because it looks better, and because the idea of having spaghetti and French toast together is repugnant, morally speaking. 83, that looks awesome. I would devour that. I had some... My dad made some stuffed pepper soup. Horfed that down so fast during the break. Fuck. Oh, this is a tough one. Oh, no. Katsu chicken curry. That's a great-looking katsu, or I think the burger buff takes it. The burger's just that good. Yeah, that's crazy. That's really close. Damn. Meat buns with beer, 705. Fruit-topped shaved ice for 240. I think the meat buns 705 is taking it. More people are going to look at that and go, yes, please. Yeah. Shaved ice sucks? It does not suck on a hot summer's day. Buffalo chicken over rice. Why is there spaghetti? Slow-cooked beef and rice, no price, wins it. What? What are you talking about? What? Katsu. It's not shit on a stick. It's not shit on a stick. Takoyaki or Yangnam chicken? I think it's going to be the chicken. Yeah. 92. Damn, we're going to get another 9 out of 10. Beef noodle with a pint of Asahi. Or Asahi. Strawberry bubble waffle, 430. Shit. Oh, I shouldn't have said anything. I've doomed us. I've doomed us to an 8 out of 10. Steak and rice, that looks not great. This is an awesome looking pizza. Fucking 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10. Come on, man. Oh, 8 out of 10. That's upsetting. I hate being this consistent. Choose outcome. The 8 out of 10ers win it again. Damn. All right. Let us close I Am Your Beast and open up the real special feature for today's stream. I'm really excited for this. I've had my eye on this pretty much since it came out on Steam. I have had this installed, and I have been waiting for an opportunity to play it. So I am very, very, very excited. Hopefully it fits into the overlay properly. Needs a little bit of resizing. Hold on, before I resize it, I'm going to see if there are resolution options that might be. For now, let us just move it to the center, which might work pretty well. Anyway, we're going to move on to Casey Noir and the Carved Pumpkins Latte. Nick, you've bet on 8 out of 10 and you got it. Damn, you're just winning everything this stream. There is full screen. All right, perfect. I'm kind of digging the letterboxing. Anyway, I know basically nothing about this. I know it's like a murder mystery type point-and-click adventure visual novel type deal. I don't know anything about the gameplay. I believe it was made for... I can't remember the name of the game jam. I know it was originally made for a game jam and then further polished for a free Steam release. So if this looks interesting to you at all, make sure to go download it and read it and play it yourself. But I'm excited. Basically, all I know is that Nick did the art and assets for this, and I don't think I've said it on stream prior to this. I am an immense fan of Nick's work, as you may be able to tell, considering that I'm currently speaking through the medium of his art. Just joined? You look like your style is from there? Funny that. So yeah, I had the pleasure to commission Nick and have a model made in honor of this stream that will match the visual style of the rest of the characters. I'm really excited to get to it. So, without further ado and delay, let us begin Casey Noir and the Carved Pumpkins Latte. Whoa, hold on a minute. I know that guy. So fucking stylish, man. God damn. God damn. Let's get to it. Oh, that's cool. Casey Noir and the Carved Pumpkins Latte, game by Nick Ruse, music by Callus, proofreading by Rudra and Barry, originally made for the 6th annual Spooktober Visual Novel Jam, and improved later with care. Is there meant to be sound that I'm just not hearing it? I feel as though there's meant to be sound that I'm just not hearing it for some reason. Oh, wow. Holy shit. I know that book. I own that book. Dev comments, accessibility settings. Ooh. We will keep this in mind. Only some slight sound of wind. Let's see. Okay, we're gonna show location arrows. Are these on by default? Because I think they would help for a good stream experience. This is a really nice options menu, damn. There we go. Okay, now we can switch to full screen. Perfect. Nice! Oh wow, we really fit in. Damn. Alright, and if I'm too big, we'll make me smaller on the screen. Good book. Dev comments, very excited about that. Strange, the points of interest isn't supposed to be on by default. Uh-oh. I'm going to keep it on. What? Oh, that's a fun slider. This one upsets me a little. This one upsets me slightly. I will say. I guess it's the same thing. Because you're filling up the cup, but tried to make vertical sliders but had no luck. Damn. Alright, there we go. Now we got some sound going. Alright. Right-click to view settings. Oh, okay, or escape. Hover over the parts of the screen to find interactable areas. Okay, cool. And so it's got the little... I assume this is the accessibility option, the little sparkle to indicate a point of interest. Alright. Let's get to it. I disabled that. You're not supposed to be here. God, I gotta say, it's very, very, very fucking cool seeing my PNG tuber, like, perfectly fit the setting like this. This is awesome. This is a very cool feeling. Hotel is surrounded by sets of blue flower bushes for decoration. They seem to be carefully maintained. Control panel is closed. Ooh. God, it's reminding me a lot of like escape room flash games I used to play as a kid, with just like the ambient sound and the way that it switches just from one scene to another like that with no transition. I'm saying that as a positive. Let me say that outright. I really, really like how that feels nostalgia-wise. I know for some people that might be a little jarring. I like that a lot. What's surrounded by... Okay, gotcha. Ooh. Okay, and the direction arrows. Okay, I'm very happy to have those direction arrows. Alright. Helen Q. Romeros. Won't be needing a room to stay in. For my home is a step away from any shadow I see. Ooh. Interesting. A lemon tree? Thought there was supposed to be sound. There's no sound. Or were you not hearing the sound? Hold on. There's like a rustling of wind. You're not hearing that? Oh, right. I probably have it very quiet on OBS because I turned it down for I Am Your Beast. Shit. Okay. That should be better now. It might be a little bit more audible. It was very, very quiet. It's extremely quiet. Here's what we'll do then. We'll turn all the sound stuff all the way up. And then we'll move this to there. That should be good. Okay. Nice. Right. In we go. Let's go down here first. Ooh. This away. A few bushes have been cut down, rather poorly at that. It seems that chains, which should be in place, have been opened. Things that ought to crawl, and things have learned to walk that ought to crawl. Rather dangerous slip. A few bushes have been cut down, rather poorly. Oh, wind got very loud there for a second. Oh, okay. That's like us opening the hatch, it feels like, maybe. Interesting. That brings us back around front. Cool. Alright. Go to the rooms. Vase full of lush blue flowers with a single red petal on the table itself. Closed. Closed. It's closed. Back down to the party room. For the main event. Oh, hello. How did you hear this game? Nick posted about it on Discord server there, man. What is Shade doing here? I thought it was going to be an exclusive kind of party. Well, it's hard to get rid of these pests. I feel like we're having a conversation. I'll switch over to this one. Oh wow, we're completely wrong. There we go. Well, who would have guessed you'd care to pay me a visit after all these years? The music's a little loud there, so we'll turn that down on your end. We should be good. Well, who would have guessed that you'd care to pay me a visit after all these years? Come here, you ghostly apparition. Glad to see you again, little punk. It's been a while since any of those descriptions were given me. And especially tonight, as all of us took on our self-proposed title. Call me Old Bones Bob. Old Bones Bobby. Or, you know, at least in front of the guests. Sure, Bobby, as long as you'll throw one or two bones my way. Drinks around the house. Had to guess that if anything, a party consisting of coffee connoisseurs would entice you to visit me. Connoisseurs? Judging that house of cards in the main lobby by a glance, the title of entrepreneur would spring to mind way sooner than anything as flattering as that. Apologies for disturbing you, Old Bones Bobby. One of the guests lost the key to their room and is asking for a replacement. Music is still quite loud. That better? Could be good. Let me know if it isn't. Sorry. Casey? You better think of a title for the night by the point I'll finish with this. Oh, I sure will. Look at that pumpkin. Damn. The rendering on all of this is amazing. Night in the Woods reference spotted. Hold on. You won't slip that. You won't slip this shit by me. You will not slip this shit by me. Absolutely not. I think I'm going to switch to this one when I'm sort of walking around and investigating, and then the other one when I'm having a conversation. Little Night in the Woods. What is Night in the Woods? It's a real-life documentary about what it's like to live in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. As someone from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, it was real. It happened to a friend of mine. Groovy tunes give this place a vibe that even the cackling of snobby aristocrats can't ruin. Partially because it makes it harder to hear them. Oh my, who could have guessed that such an intriguing personality would visit my party? Oh shit, the shades. The entourage. Your party. Yes, dear, my party. I'm the humble patron of this charming abode. Not as charming as it used to be, of course, but this'll have to do. Tonight I'll be going by the title Lady Quintessence, and this is my friend and her husband. Double Trouble. Ooh. Huh, classy. And how would I address you? Casey. Casey Noir. That's so. No interest in going with something more creative, Mr. Sorry, darling. Neither of those two suit me quite enough. And yes, Casey Noir it is. What's the point in trying to reinvent perfection? Oh, I like them. I like them. Well, aren't you a charming one? Oh, seems like more guests have just arrived. Greetings, Mr. Romero. What in the world are you and your girlfriend doing here? Oh, I invited them. You did what? I specifically asked you not to pull anything like this. Of course. Why should it matter if one of them has poached one of my best employees? With all respect, Mr. Romero, I chose to leave of my own accord. Maybe someone should have treated their employees with more respect before starting to complain about them. I legit have never heard anybody narrate this game before. Very new to hear a voice different from my own head. I aim to please. You know, I don't know if my aim's all that good, but, you know, it is what I'm aiming for. Oh, spare my ears. We'll see how much you listen to all the little violins your workers will play should any mild problem arise. Who would have guessed that you of all people would criticize your workers so harshly? And who are you supposed to be? Firstly, I believe that tonight we all give ourselves special titles, don't we? So let me introduce you to my friends, Miss Crescent Moon and Miss Pumpkin. Pumpkin? Really? Mm-hmm. Even found a nice accessory to look like a jack-o'-lantern. It is quite charming. Thanks. And as for myself, and as far as myself goes, assumedly, well, you can address me as the inheritor of the lost glory. Oh, I see that someone has a talent for the dramatic. To an unbearable degree, and only a couple of minutes at that. Well, I guess the two of you might recognize me under my actual name. Miss Crescent Moon, will you do me the honors? Mr. and Mrs. Romero, let me introduce my sponsor. Amari Blacksword. You gotta be kidding. Oh, this is getting interesting. I like these little... Again, the framing on your art, Nick, is phenomenal. And it works really, really well with this visual novel format. I'm wondering if I should move chat over to this side of the screen, though? Because it seems like a lot of the elements in terms of UI are oriented more towards the top right. That might work a little better. You know, I always knew that behind all that talk about workers' rights and team spirit, there was nothing more than hollow egocentrism. But even as such, just to think that you would be so hypocritical as to make a deal with one of the most infamous aristocrats in the last century. Now, why such rudeness? I might be Blacksword, but the so-called one of the most infamous aristocrats in the last century was a title bestowed upon my father, not me. For you to not only show your nose here, but also proudly present yourself with all the smugness is beyond infuriating. Lady Quintessence, does your event by any chance have any alcoholic beverages in its roster? Bottom shelf in the kitchen. Oh dear. It's always a pleasure to see the disappointment in your eyes regarding your choice of partner, Mrs. Romero. Fucking got her. Got her ass. Big ass forehead. Got her. Back to investigating? Okay, well, I say back to investigating, but we're probably right back to talking to people. Oh, that was something. Must be quite vengeful to push that guy's buttons so much. Sorry that you had to see that as your first impression of us. Me and the Romeros have never seen eye to eye. First, he tried to buy a cafe I've opened up to no avail, then opened a competing one at the same street, only for it to go under, and that's not even the end of it. I believe tonight the two of them go by the title of Double Trouble. Sounds about right. Oh, come on, Jules. I know this is more of a business trip than anything, but it doesn't mean we shouldn't try to have a good time. Sorry, I guess we didn't get introduced, did we? Well, I introduced myself. You were just late. Oh, sorry. No need. It's a good thing. Things would be much less interesting if everything would align just right, according to plan. No unpredictability. Name's Casey. Casey Noir. I like the little flash across the glasses every time they introduce themselves. Relationship. Ooh. In the title card splash? Or the box art splash? I love how the wisps on the background just come into the foreground there and weave in between. Just cut right into the line art. God, that's so stylish. So why did the two of you show up here? Besides infuriating Double Trouble, that is. You don't make an impression of snobby aristocrats. Oh, we thought to play the role of one, but the two of us decided that we would try to relax and spend some quality couples time together this time. Right. Want to try my special coffee recipe? Did I refuse such an offer? With words, generally, it's always an option, but I'm glad you decided not to consider it. That's it. Wow, this is something. It nearly makes me go full wine taster levels of pretentious to properly describe how nice it is. Oh, thanks! This party's the first opportunity I've gotten to present it to someone other than my friends. I had to get up. Can you summarize the last 10 minutes of gameplay? We are at a party. Everyone at the party is going by aliases. And that's about the most of it. There seems to be some tension between some rival businesses and some aristocrats, as it were. Every time Casey takes a sip, there better be Minecraft drinking sounds. Furry, gay, noir, mystery. Yeah, that sums it up rather well, I'd say. But yeah, right now, I assume we are an investigator of sorts. That definitely is the vibe that we have going on. Whether we're an investigator in an official capacity or whether we simply go where the wind takes us, uncertain. But as it stands, I assume something will go wrong. My previous workplace, I was responsible for general barista stuff. Never really given much opportunity to try newer stuff. So getting to actually do something nice on a day-to-day basis will be a different kind of experience, that's for sure. This wouldn't be right not to help my own partner if she struggles with her job dissatisfaction, especially when having the means to. Needless to say, I'm really thankful for that. So what's the story behind Inheritor of the Lost Glory? Oh, did it just automatically ask the next question instead of bringing me back to the menu, so I had to ask it? Very nice. They already got too many headaches due to the unpleasant history of their family. What kind of history? Well, his father was the reason for the current unionization and labor laws to even be made in the first place. A lot of really exploitative practices. We were talking paying in company credits that can be exchanged only in other company businesses level of evil. So a while back, it led to a huge unionization effort spanning quite a few industries. The government stepped up, leading to a lawsuit where huge amounts of workers actually got properly repaid for the work they've done. It was so large that it made a huge chunk of Black Sword's fortune, rendering it no longer able to sustain its huge sets of commercial networks. A bunch of repaid workers buying out of the businesses for which they worked for money. One of the workers being Mr. Double Trouble's father. That's what this is all about? Legacy of some passed away aristocrats still haunting the lives of those who came after? For those who come... Pretty much. Though the likes of him have no right to feel that way, considering that Mr. Romero himself has been going down the same path as that businessman. Quite allowed for Double Trouble's family to start their own business. What led you to cross paths with the two families? My father fell into a gray area where his work fell in the lowest repayment rank, despite his 12 years of experience, and constantly being sent from one place to another as he was managing a bunch of them. Then, as I was tumbling my way through the bureaucracy needed to open up a cafe, I was contacted by the... I wonder how it would look if you align your Sona with the other characters on screen? What, like... Wrong one. Hold on. Oops. One moment. Okay, well now I'm gonna cover up Casey. Just because of the way my pose is. Like so? Official screenshot. I don't like how that I'm covering up so much of it, though. Heir of the lost glory. They weren't in a good relationship with their father and were trying their best, helping those affected by them, myself included. Ever since then, they've been my sponsor. I'm my fourth to last exam in 10 hours. I'll be sleeping now. Hope you have fun with the game. I'll catch up on the VOD. Have a good one, Mir. Thanks for sticking around. Good luck on your test. Greetings, ladies and creatures undefined. How's your evening going? You need anything? Ask Bill or... Oh, sorry. Today he goes simply by the title of Serviceman. Always a pleasure seeing your wrinkly face, Bobby. Oh, spare me the compliments. My glory days are behind me. Spending the rest of them in this lovely place is as much as I could have hoped from life. Ah, aren't you an optimist, Mr. Old Bones Bobby? I am, my dear. I play my role as nicely as I can, and so should you. So liven up, relax, and enjoy what we have to offer. I couldn't help but notice that your last visit was a bit of a letdown, as if to be blunt. So I hope we'll do a better job at relieving some of that pesky stress eating up you all. Oh, you really shouldn't worry that much, Bobby. We'll do fine. Ah, so you've been here before. Yes, we have. For Pumpkin, that was her first time here, but not for me. Back when I was a kiddo, me and my parents used to visit this place. At the time, it was quite boring, not gonna lie. Who would have guessed that a quiet hotel where one goes to escape from the pressure of their daily life wouldn't be that good of a place for a hyperactive child. Stopped coming here a while after I sprained my ankle while playing in the yard, only coming back a few years after when I became an angsty teen, for when the tranquility of such a place was a breath of fresh air. Is it me, or does your popcorn look like a pumpkin? Pumpkin soup in the chalice. Oh, this? No, that's not a cocktail. That's pumpkin soup. I apologize. Would you like a sip? So, despite how long of a break between visits I had, I still would see the same old servicemen even to this day. Wait, seriously? It must have been, what, at least 15 years, or somewhere around that mark, yes. Little old Bill has been here so long that the hotel changed hands 3 times by now. No wonder he looks so tired all the time. Alright. We're going to get right back into conversation, so we won't bother switching models here. Well, that was something. Apologies, it's not uncharacteristic for him to have such a short fuse. Oh, quite the opposite. Between him and his wife, he's usually the quiet one. I doubt that. Believe me, I've been acquainted with him for a whole 2 minutes. Sounds reliable enough. Honestly, I didn't expect either of the Black Sword family to take upon my party invitation. It's always more of a formality than anything. Well, you know, what better way to make an impression than to come to a party invited, yet to everyone's disbelief? Speaking of disbelief, I don't believe the two of us got to properly introduce each other, or at least you didn't. Quite unusual to meet someone with such an exquisite relationship towards simple existence. Casey Noir. I love the little flash of the glasses every time. Very fun and stylish. The pleasure's all mine. So, Ms. Blacksword, how did... Oh, dear. You seem to be mistaking your assumptions. I'm no Ms. Mister? Still no. You seem to have a strong sense of déjà vu washing over me. Or you might just not have it in you to appreciate the taste of a good drink. Ooh. Let's talk business first. So, what do the two of you do for a living? I'm a private detective of sorts. Private detective? You mean like murders? Sometimes. Most often I prefer to take on the more peculiar mysteries, akin to thefts. Not a fan of death. Is anyone? There's already so much excitement found among the living. In comparison, murder cases feel much more like an obligation to uncover the truth. What about you? I'm a real estate owner. Businesses, mostly. Restaurants, shops, entertainment establishments, hotels. Is that how you got to know Double Trouble? Indeed. I've gotten in contact with them to buy out a building in an opportune location. I had reasons to believe it would not make its return for them before they'd put it on for sale for the public. After some negotiations, we settled on a price as well as a business agreement. In exchange for a good price on the building in question, I would have coffee shops of their chain in all my hotels. I don't have to worry about the location. I don't have to worry about everything one needs for a good coffee shop. What do you do for a living, inheritor of lost glory? Oh, spent most of my life trying to help victims of my father's legacy. Some of those I've helped ended up engaging in different sorts of businesses with me, like Miss Crescent Moon's establishment. Besides assisting with financing it, I help with connections to suppliers, repair work, and so on. Well, aren't you a charitable one? I'm guilty as charged. What's with the sour mug, sweetheart? Can't say for sure why, but it all just feels superficial. Or artificial or superficial? Isn't that just business talk in general? I guess you have a point. The owner of this establishment seems to have quite a good taste in literature. Yeah, old Bones Bobby used to talk about his collection quite a lot back in the day. I don't know why I'm skipping words there. So the two of you know each other? You can say so, yes. Last time the two of us met properly, he didn't even own this hotel yet. That would be more than a decade ago. Anyway, I don't believe I've read the one you're holding. Moments Undefined is considered a new classic. It's an anthological series centered around various horror concepts engraving itself into a person's life, with each story's seemingly one-off concepts building up to an end part where it all culminates in an interesting way. I wouldn't call it anything more than middle-of-the-road pulp fiction, though. Oh, that's quite harsh of you. Well, yes, I do feel it's a bit more bland than the author's future works, neither of which have reached as beloved of status as this one. To say that it's mere pulp fiction would be to discredit a borderline art house approach, the way it presents standard horror concepts. Darling, you're a business owner just like me, so let me give you some advice. You don't make an impression on others with the uncertainty you have towards something. Either go all in or don't go at all. You continue to think in such a rigid way, you won't even have time to blink before you'll lose touch with reality. Eventually, there should be a scene where everybody has drinks in their hands, eh? I mean, I'm ready for it. Even you and Casey have drinks too. Yeah, yep. An inheritor here. They had a drink too. We're almost there. If we have a conversation between just Casey and Inheritor, it's possible everyone on screen will have a nice beverage to toast with. You use something that will do nothing but add confusion over your own feelings, not being able to express or explain, instead just switching between binary love or hate. I'll have to side with our charming ghostly apparition here. Definitely lacking in nuance, my darling. Oh, spare me the headache. Oh, serviceman, get me some of those delicious pastries. Yes, ma'am. If anyone's looking for me, I'll be at the terrace. Then go talk to old Bones Bobby? Oh, no, that's Inheritor. Gotcha. So what do you think of it all? Halloween, I mean. Why does it sound like you expect me to not be familiar with it? Oh, my apologies. I'm not particularly informed about the inner workings of minds such as yours. Up until tonight, your existence was no more than rumors to me. Of course it was. It's unlikely for a person to meet more than one shade in their lifespan. Okay, so they are a ghost of some kind, and everyone is aware that they're a ghost of some kind. How so? Beats me. All I know is that it's very rare for the lives of two shades to intersect, even when it comes to those we meet. Is the part about what happens to one's past after they become a shade true? Judging from my experience, I would say so. Can't remember anything before it, and no one can remember me. Not even any physical evidence of me ever existing before then. How do you know you had a past? It's the emptiness. Ooh. Flash in the glasses there. What? While it's gone, there are still traces of something existing in place. Empty line from registries, photos where a person interacts with someone we can't see. Person's own house indicating that they weren't living there alone. Traumatic? Not really, just unpleasant. It's hard not to wonder what my life was like before all this, but the world keeps moving on, and so am I. I do like, you can see Casey emote, but the glasses make them a little more difficult to read. I didn't even realize that they were furrowing their brow there at first until I looked up and noticed. It's not hard to wonder what my life was like before all this, but the world keeps moving on, and so am I. Can't spend too much time on empty reminiscence when those I care about slowly die with each second I do so. Well, aren't you theatrical? You're one to talk. Oh, give me 1 second. The sky is blue, and so am I. Oh, well then. Wouldn't you want to spend a little bit of my slowly passing days at the dance? Or would you... Oh, yeah, wouldn't... Dance time? Getting straight to the point. Oh, believe me, there's nothing straight about it. Alright. There we go. We're getting right to it. Aren't you theatrical? Says everybody in Jelly here posing. Yep. When Nick sent me the sketch of this, I was immediately in love. This is such a fun pose. It's perfect. Dance time? Oh, hell yeah. Oh, shit. They got the moves. Ooh. Very nice little cutscene. Interesting. And who might you be? Oh! Oh, I see. Okay, I see. Gotcha. Okay, that's very fun. That's... Okay, gotcha. I get it now. I understand how it works. Very fun silhouette. Oh, hey, if you're looking for old Bones Bobby, he left while you were dancing with my friend. Well, it's been a while since we've seen each other. I am at fault for not reminding him about my lack of tact, it seems. Sorry if I'm being somewhat nosy, but did two of you used to be a thing? Something of that kind, yes. It's hard for me to impart anything with a definition unless it has a certain shade of malevolence to it. Look at you here eating pumpkin, the other PNG. Hold on. Oh. Cannibalism. Well, I guess I'm not a pumpkin, so. Alas, where were we? Good things shouldn't be bound by preconceived notions. Quite an idealistic way to look at things, don't you think so? Darling, I've been alive for so long that I've stopped keeping track of my own age. Pragmatism for me is an afterthought. This is a very fun pose. I love this pose quite a lot. Really nice posture on it. I love the little open mouth here. Very fun. Is that so? Huh. I wonder what kind of life leads someone to end up a shade. As do I, my dear. As do I. I think I simply loved life too much to entertain the idea of death. Must have been one lucky life to be had. Aren't most? Sorry, it's just... I think an immortal will have an easy time understanding it. Well, what's the most attainable thing right now? What's the most attainable thing right now that would make your life even a little bit better? Having my girlfriend and myself? I think I can help you with that. What? No. It's a professional event. We came all the way to make impressions. Having a good time isn't necessarily a requirement for that. You mortals are always making up reasons to be dissatisfied, aren't you? You know, for someone who lived for so long, I thought you would have learned the value of patience. Well, maybe with coffee as good as the one you make, I might as well take my time. Ooh, cheeky. I'll take that as a compliment. Of course, how else would one interpret it? I think I'll have to say goodbye to you tonight. Jules seems to be busy, so I might as well take my leave and rest in my room. On the Game Jam version, there was no pose nor expression, nor even expression variety. It was very bare bones, even more than this. I see. Another cutscene, let's go. Oh, I like the cut in there. God damn. Composition goes fucking crazy. We'll switch to this one just for some variety. Well, aren't you a charmer? I'm sad, old man. Jealous? I'm ready for a dance whenever you are. Oh, hush. Stuff like that is better left for the young and hot-blooded. Not so long ago, you were just like that. Why should something as insignificant as the passage of time change that? Still the same old muse I fell for all those years ago. Really did miss you, you know. Yeah, you were just so busy back during our last meeting, I didn't want to distract you from more important things in your life. Sooner or later, you'll have to start considering that maybe you're one of those important things in the other person's life. As lovely as it would be, I'm just a guest. I'm not sure if I can stay and watch someone's life pass right before my own eyes. Maybe the difference wouldn't be as noticeable if it didn't take you years to visit me. Sorry, Bobby. Truly am. You know, it's just not how I do things. Quite hard to change the way I am. Yet you were looking after me after I bought this hotel from Lady Quintessence 10 years ago, weren't you? So you noticed. I hoped you would talk to me, but you just watched in silence. Why? Sorry for making you wait for me. I thought if I was out of the picture for long enough, you would find someone else to spend the rest of your days with. Casey, it's not about a passing flirt here and there. I couldn't care less about being in any sort of formal relationship. What I was missing was the friend I had in you. You can justify it however you want, be it related to the nature of your immortal existence as a shade or personal stuff, but facts are facts. You left me because you're scared of getting too close to someone. Maybe you're right, Oh! Oh! No! No! This is Pumpkin's body. Fell through the tent. Julia? Julia, do you hear me? Look there. Not right now. Robert, is there any tea? The corner shelf in the kitchen. Here, sweetie. Oh. Bad. Kidding. Didn't we call the police? Don't let a shade call the police. For all we know, they'll frame this. Oh, wow, that's a lot going on there. Please just call the cops already. Yes, we discovered the body of one of the guests falling through a tent with a blade in her back. We aren't aware who the murderer is. What? How many guests were there at the party? A few dozen, I would gather. Yes, most of them have already left. What do you mean you won't be sending anyone until the morning? Hello? Hello? What should I have expected, honestly? A night as beautiful as this has to be stained by something as awful as murder. Bobby, where's everyone? Scattered, trying to distract themselves from what they just saw. Did you call the cops? Yeah, but they won't do anything until the morning. Figures. What do you think about all this? Can't say for sure right now. Better to search the hotel for any clues there might be than regroup. Have everyone on the same page. Since I'll stay here, making sure no one disturbs the body. If someone comes back, I'll say that we should all regroup in an hour from now. Ditto. No, not Pumpkin. I figured out how to do the voice for her and everything. Hand position? Ooh. Room number 7, Double Trouble's room. This is one for room number 8. I believe that our victim was the one who stayed there. The one in room number 9 tonight, Lady Quintessence is staying there. The body pushed out of the window? I think it's the window of room number 8. But with the tent in the way, it's hard to say for sure. Coffee stains. Key to room number 8. Carving knife stuck in pumpkin. Oh yeah, I guess it is the carved pumpkin's latte. God damn it! I should have seen this coming. I should have seen this coming as soon as her name was Pumpkin. Fuck, man. Sweater seems to have absorbed most of the blood. Oh. Is there a way for me to... Oh, okay. Gotcha. That's going to stay interactable. Gotcha. Progress. Still yet to finish looking through everywhere. Well, in that case, here, take my key to the rope cause control panel. What for? There's a built-in logbook of sorts. Maybe it'll help us narrow down what exactly happened here. Speaking of which, do you have any ideas about the alibis of those who are still present in this hotel? What it seems, from the moment when Pumpkin departed this room and until we found her body, everybody has left and come back, having enough time so that none of the still present guests can confirm seeing the other. Outside of double trouble, that is, but you know how it is with those who are that close in situations like this one. Without testimonies of all the attendants who've already left, we won't be able to rely on alibis before cops will get around to it themselves. Seems to be the case. Prime suspect appears to be double trouble, but he thinks it won't be that simple. Or if it is that simple, it's about to get a lot more complicated first. A horror book by S.S. Cefio, accompanied by a custom bookmark that ends with a single blue petal. Moments undefined. I'll say, one thing that I think, Nick, your art style is doing really, really well here. Obviously, in terms of composition, it's making the point-and-click adventure aspect of this a much more engaging experience, just because it's a lot more visually interesting. But in terms of the assets and the way that they're presented to you, it makes them stick very well in your memory. It gives them a very strong, like, directional and navigational grounding, which is something that I think a lot of old, like, Flash games like this can struggle with a lot of the time if their assets aren't as distinct or visually interesting. A lot of the time, I remember playing like older point-and-click adventure escape room type games, and I would just forget what stuff I had on hand. And I feel like with a visual style like this, everything feels a lot more important, and so it sticks a lot easier. I'm still thinking about up in the rooms here, the potted plant that has the red petals in it as well as the blue flowers. Or the blue flowers by the back door. Right? What are you two doing? I'm gonna check on Pumpkin's room, but the door is closed. Sorry if I'm being impolite, but considering that you were in a relationship with Pumpkin, shouldn't you have the key to it, Miss Crescent Moon? From what I noticed upon watching some other playthroughs, it's that it's a bit confusing to understand what something is because of the unconventional composition. Interesting. We'll have to see if I run into that. Well, no, Pumpkin asked me to stay in separate rooms this trip. Neither of us had the other's key. She used to get in a mood where she wanted to stay alone for a while. So it wasn't, usual. Now I wish I hadn't been so respectful of her boundaries. You glazing Nick makes you sound like a sock puppet. I mean, I am designed by him in this instance. Although, glazing things I'm enjoying does tend to be my style as a streamer. Better not to interfere with the evidence for that reason. Can you ask Bobby for a copy of a key to Pumpkin's room? What for? Just open it from the other side. Can? Locks aren't exactly a thing for me. Ooh. Interesting. It was pretty empty. Only a painting and some luggage resting on top of a drawer. And inside, there's a box for a wedding ring. Miss Crescent Moon? Didn't know the two of you were engaged. Neither did I. No ring inside. Can you leave me alone for some time, please? Sure, I'll be waiting outside. Oh. Really strong mural there. Damn. People who said that the dead don't tell their secrets must not have understood the concept of material things one leaves behind. I always thought that the phrase was referring to the likes of me. Kind of how the things one says do not always reach the ears of others the intended way. Details get lost. Well, in this case, maybe some things should have stayed secret, at least for a bit longer. Jules finding out about Bethany's intentions right after what is transposed hits too open of a wound. They could have had a wonderful life, rooting for them. How long have they been together? In the world of shades, somehow mediums do not exist? Let's see. Well, I mean, especially in a world of coffee and lattes, I suppose it would just be, venti and the like. So medium wouldn't be an option regardless. A few years by now, I would say. Introduced them to each other myself. You knew both of them before they gotten to know each other? Crescent Moon and I, well, I guess you already kind of know the story, but me and Pumpkin were friends for a while even before then. He was kind of an introverted person who would get adopted into a friend group, making more personal one-on-one connections with those in it. So it wasn't much of a surprise when she and Crescent Moon got together, especially considering that while Crescent Moon is a more sociable one, she still had her own struggles connecting to others. Being responsible for an entire business where she herself has fought her hardest to start and maintain it. Pumpkin was kind of an emotional anchor for her. Now that she's gone, I just hope that she won't do anything rash. Base with a bunch of twigs, leaves, and some blue petals on it. Single red petal on the table itself. Seven, there's double trouble. Blues? Ooh. Sudoku? Where do we get that? Have we gotten that yet? Okay, there we go. It was in the case. Gotcha. Empty box from a wedding ring. Gotcha. Filigree art found in almost any hotel for a pleasant atmosphere. No, wait. Door's slightly open. Painting seems to have more depth than I gave it credit. Oh, hello. Okay. Well, maybe not just yet. And besides the two secret entrances behind the paintings, looks like this room has a third entrance, which is only 3 meters from the ground. Not a problem for me, but for the others, this is a one-way entrance. Okay, let's go back for now. Spilled coffee cup. Pumpkin with the eyes carved out. Nothing inside. Roof plates below the window are shaken out of place. Some blood can be seen forming puddles. So stabbed and then pushed through. Assumedly. Oh, wait. One piece of a paper bill. Another vase with the red petals. Well. Can't open the painting from that side. Okay. This one. Another entry point at the roof. Also 3 meters away from ground, but due to the elevator's intricate cage-like design, easily possible to climb here. I missed about this. Go to the lobby. Lady contestants there. You'll see black sword. last group of guests left while Pumpkin was still seen alive. The last group of guests left while Pumpkin was last seen alive. Okay. Departed 8:06, arrived 8:18, departed 8:20. Okay. Good to know. Nothing under the table. On a piece of wrapped cloth is a big stack of cash, a ring, and a torn pearl necklace. I think there was some pearls in the room with the struggle as well. Hello there. Flip. A few bushes have been cut down rather poorly at that. Wall meat. This isn't a clue, just wall meat. Bobby likes to hide some in walls. I'm sorry, you put... There's a little Among Us? There's a little Among Us, and if you click him, you get Castlevania wall meat? I see. I see. Hello there. Quite a risky place to rest at, don't you think? Oh, it's you. What brings you here? Everyone scattered so fast we didn't have time to say that the meeting regarding what happened will be held in less than an hour from now. Yes, neither I nor the guests have found a body with a knife in its back the most cheery of sights. You know it was from Castlevania? You're an absolute nerd? Look at me! Look at me! I'm streaming with a model like this on Twitch.tv. Of course I'm a nerd! Anyway. And that's why you're here? Sulking? With all due respect, I know you're a special guest, but I'm not paid enough to deal with the likes of you. Have some respect for the feelings of the still living. Okay, maybe not the most tactful choice of words. My apologies. Ever. Must be nice to have a little to no care in the world, eh? Well, it's hardly that simple. Oh, really? No need for a roof over your head? At any moment, you can basically go to any place known to you and take a rest there, regardless of the wishes of those around you, because, oh, what luck! No one can do anything against you unless you are willing for it to happen. One would think that immortality would make it harder to connect to those around you, but wouldn't you know, everyone's just so enamored with you that you have no problems to disregard even those who've been waiting to see you for nearly 15 years. You're oversimplifying it, buddy. Oh, really? Because that's how it looks to me. A life like yours is something I can't even dream of, let alone achieve. Yet the likes of you just wasted on these games of cat and mouse. I don't know if we're either, really. Back in the day, I had so many hopes for the future, and just to blink away, all I have to show for it is a steady job that is just comfortable enough as not to quit, and a dead end in the hopes of ever being able to make enough to change anything. Today I see a girl half my age, and with so many more opportunities and potential, lying on the terrace with a knife in her back. What am I supposed to take away from it? Honestly, I don't think anything will ever change. I've been stuck in this hotel for the past 20 years of my life, and I'll be stuck here until I draw my last breath, final breath. Why are you saying this all to me? Called a meltdown, lad. Please just leave me alone for now. See you all in the main party room in an hour or so. Let me sulk some more, as you've put it. Really like the way his eyes glow there. Everyone's just a little sinister looking. Oh, it's you wondering, Shadow. What brings you here? Body one floor above us? Of course! Gotta say, not something I was expecting to see tonight, be it Hallows Eve or not. Can a gal just organize a party without having to deal with its unforeseen aftermath? Now I'll have so much paperwork to go through. It's gonna be a miserable evening or two. We'll see if my lawyer can find a loophole where I won't have to deal with all of that. Wow, such a display of compassion. You don't even want to pretend like you care about what has happened? What for? You're a shade. I don't really need to impress you. Your words don't really matter in the eye of the law. If anything, you being around makes it oh so much easier for them to just pin the whole thing on you. So, what? You're just getting wasted until then? Possibly a murderer still wandering the halls of the hotel? Darling, there were somewhere around 40 people visiting this party. What are the chances that the murderer is both still around, would want to kill more, and me specifically? Well, they're not zero. Okay, I'll admit, I like that kind of thinking, but still, right now, this bottle is worth the risk. Just leave me. Associated with lemons? Or perhaps just lemon framing, since we're in the main room. And then we gotta talk to Double Trouble. How'd you get into our room? Oh, I'm sorry. Don't hide in the shadows if you have no wish to be intruded upon. So what you doing? What does it look like we're doing? Trying to unwind. Then by all means continue. I'm just looking for clues. You know what? Whatever. Go ahead. Not like they could do anything to begin with. Looks like this window's lock is broken and cannot be opened. Two of them won't allow me to read it while they're here. I mean, what are they gonna do? Stop me? How come you're not talking with each other? Well, I don't know. Maybe it's because we're not alone and do not trust those who just barge into our room without an invitation when a murder just happened. So, would you prefer me to spy on you without being noticed? Just get out already. I have enough of a headache already. Did I say already twice? I think I did. Yeah, there's the pearls. Spilled coffee cup. Alright, back to the party room, I suppose? Hint? Oh, that's very helpful. Seem to have missed something in the secret room. Oh! Part of the coffee is splattered on the wall frame behind the painting. Ooh. Think I have everything I need for now. Better check on Bobby. I think I've heard that staring at dead bodies for too long isn't healthy. Fun fact, people will waste about 10 to 20 minutes before they'll use a hint. I did it completely by accident. I'll be sure to be quicker on the trigger. At least for the sake of stream brevity, if nothing else. This isn't how I'd hoped for this night to transpire. No kidding. You know, whether I could read all detective stories that sit in my collection, I'd imagine how exciting it would be to unravel a mystery playing out right in front of me. But now that it's happening, I just want it all to end. The girl is dead, killed under my roof. I was none the wiser. People really don't like hints. I understand why, however, I've played enough Ace Attorney to know that the investigation is, like, largely a means to an end. And so when I wander around in an investigation long enough, I just look up guides when I'm playing Ace Attorney. If it takes me too long during an investigation, I just use a guide. I'm not interested in like the back and forth in how specifically how Ace Attorney games work. So when I get hints, I'm more than willing to use them. It'll be all right, Bobby. I'm here for you. How long will that last? Back when I first saw you appear at the grand reopening of this hotel, I hoped that one evening, while I was indulging in reading my collection, you would come out of the shadows. Sit beside me, saying nothing, and we would just drink tea. Needless to say, my book collection grew quite moderately since then, old friend. It did. Box editions, additional materials, even signatures by authors. Strange. I remember ever meeting S.S. Scipio. I've had Crimson Antler signed instead. That one was much more up my alley. Because my old mind just isn't the same as it used to be. Oh, seems like most of us are here already. Oh no, I'm gonna have to switch through so many voices. Bethany. So what should we do? We analyze, we discuss, and we uncover the truth. Well, Bill, the serviceman, still hasn't come back. It's odd. I have told him to be here by now. Better go look for him. It's a matter we should all discuss. Listen, I didn't come to hang out around the dead body of my past coworker to wait even longer for some nobody. Not like all of us are paying attention to this, seeing how little Miss Hypocrite can't even put two words together. Don't you dare even speak about me. If there's any justice in this world, you should have been the one with a knife in your back, not her. You. Aaron, that's enough. Now's not the time for pettiness. Let her grieve. Everyone calm down. We can outline the basis of what transpired here before Serviceman shows up. Very well. What do we know? Miss Bethany, who tonight has gone by the title Pumpkin, fell through the roof of the tent with a knife in her back. Considering that her room was right above it, someone must have stabbed her while her room was open, thrown her body onto the slightly sloped roof under her room's window to hide it, and then it slowly slid down, falling through the tent, with the killer by now most likely leaving the party before any of us were able to discover it. Oh, that was them talking. I should have done that was them talking. While sound at a first glance, you're making a dangerous assumption of the killer no longer being in this very building. Simple probability and logic. All the guests who didn't plan to stay in the hotel tonight left around 8 p.m. We last saw Pumpkin leaving this room around, what, 8:30 p.m.? Sound thing for someone to do to murder Pumpkin. Sound thing for someone to do is to murder Pumpkin soon after she left this room, hide her body so that it would take longer to discover it, and then just leave while no panic has been raised. Double Trouble is wrong in their assumption of the killer leaving the party after killing Pumpkin some point after 8:30. How can I prove it? Departure time. 8:20 is the latest anyone ever left. You're mistaken. The last rope car has left this hotel while Pumpkin was still seen alive. Which means the murderer is among them. No way! That's not our only assumption. You see, Pumpkin wasn't killed in her own room. She was killed in Lady Quintessence's room. What? Miss Lady, you were silent for a while now. Why is that? I don't know what you're talking about. I haven't visited my room since before we discovered the body. Well, should we then enlighten you towards its current state? First thing hinting directly towards this is the hole in the tent being located right below your window, which has been left wide open. The roof under said window has out-of-place tiles in the shape of a body, as well as blood forming in pools around them. Fun fact, the Among Us phrase happens only if you have found the wall meat before this point. Come on! Really? What do they say if you don't find the wall meat? Is it... Do they just not say that, or do they say something different? Is it the murderer is still here or something? Fuck off. The door in your room was left open near the corner. Before the painting the window, there's spilled coffee. Door lock in perfect condition. Wait, you said the door to my room was opened. Shouldn't that raise less suspicion towards me? The murderer is one of us. Awesome. Great. Just because she was murdered in my room doesn't mean I was the one who did it. I didn't even have a key to my own room until Bobby gave me a copy. You didn't have your key? I lost it at some point before the bulk of the party started, and informed a serviceman to ask Bobby for a copy, which I have on me now. Can you confirm it, Bobby? That I can. Every numbered room has 2 keys. One given to the guest, the other stays with me unless the first is lost. And what about room service? I give keys to serviceman, and he gives them back to me after that. So what you're saying is that serviceman has his reasons not to be here right now? Well, because of them possibly having a key to Lady Quintessence's room? This isn't much evidence. If he was here, it would be easy to dismiss, unless we can prove him having one. Surely there must have been more than that. You're right. In fact, anyone could have found the key in question. No, I believe there's another reason for him not being around. Why servicemen might want to avert everyone. What? That's mine! It's my ring. I'm not talking about the ring, I mean the pearl necklace. At least what's left of it. Besides those 2, we have a large wad of cash. Any idea who it might belong to? Interesting. A piece of cloth with all its contents have been hidden under a table in the basement, with the pearls being scattered along the way. Think he decided to hide or run because he discovered you stumbling on his stash? Quite possible. Can't believe it. Ever think that that Bill would steal from the guests? Cash has been stolen from previous guests. He must have been stealing small stuff from our guests for a long time. Wouldn't call stealing wedding rings small stuff. Right. Yes, my apologies. So what does this mean? Serviceman found Lady Quintessence's lost room key, used it to make his way in to steal. Pumpkin must have been going past the open door, saw him robbing her, confronted him, and Serviceman attacked her for that. Having killed her, he dropped the body out the window onto the roof. Having killed her, he dropped the body out of the window onto the roof, and from there, it slowly slid until falling through the tent. Okay, well, the problem is this is taking place in Quintessence's room, not Pumpkin's. Not quite. Still have a number of loose ends that don't fit into that theory. Like that of where the murder weapon in question came from. What's that supposed to mean? Apologies. Give me a second to catch my breath. The murder weapon is a regular carving knife. There's one in nearly every pumpkin here. He must have just took the nearest one when confronting Pumpkin. That's the thing. Each set of pumpkins in the hotel has knives in them. As far as I've noticed, none were missing in it. What does that mean? The blade must have been prepared in advance. This murder wasn't an accident. It must have been intentional. Bobby, outside of carving knives and the pumpkins all over the hotel, were there any spare ones around? There were. They were stored in the basement. Why are we even questioning it anymore? Everything points to the serviceman. There's one more thing. The secret room. Secret room? A room that's meant to be secret, yes. Just naturally. You see, there's more to the place of murder than meets the eye. Pumpkins and Lady Quintessence's rooms are connected. Connected, yes, from the hall. Looks like the two of them are separated with an elevator, but in actuality, there's an empty space between it and the rooms. 2 points of entry. One is the painting in Lady Quintessence's room. Or 2 points of entry. The one is the painting in Lady Quintessence's room. Another in a roof pathway connecting to the elevator. 2 exits. One through the same painting in Lady Quintessence's room. Another through the painting in Pumpkin's room. An entrance to the roof pathway. Seems that once the elevator's on the 3rd floor, one can climb its cage-like walls up to the attic-esque place where they can jump into the secret room. It's interesting and all, but what does that have to do with the murder? Like the cut-ins here are very nice. No reason to suspect that either Pumpkin or Serviceman knew about it. Actually, there's not only a reason, but evidence to prove it. Spilled coffee. Coffee stains on the wall frame behind the picture in Lady Quintessence's room. And we can be sure that the coffee has been spilled by Pumpkin herself, as she has the same stains on her sweater. So Pumpkin discovered the secret room and caught, assumably, Serviceman in the process of stealing Lady Quintessence's pearl necklace, leading him to kill her. Was the knife in that case an extra measure in case he would get caught in the act? There is one more thing. Painting in Pumpkin's room can be opened only from inside the secret room itself. So if she came into Lady Quintessence's room through it, would it have to have been opened in advance? What does that mean? It's possible that Serviceman used the secret room to enter Pumpkin's room and stole her ring, with her catching him in the act. He ran, but pursued him to be confronted in Lady Quintessence's room, where he stabbed her with a knife he must have had. No, but even then, some things just don't add up. Then just find the stupid Serviceman rather than waste time on your theories. We already had reason to suspect him when he didn't show up to this meeting. What you said, it'll be hard to deny. Oh! Michelle! Oh, can't you see it? Touched her. Now it will take me away. It's... Oh! Uh-oh! Oh. Oh, I see. It's not just, it's the, oh. Hold on a minute. Well, we had the carved pumpkin part. I'm thinking this might be her latte. Both of them are still breathing, even if faintly. No fever either. Get them some cold water. Better for them to rest for the time being. I have some medical tea in our room. Don't know if it'll help, but it's better to try than not. There isn't much I can do, and we still need to look for servicemen. At worst, he's somewhere in the forest by now, but it's more probable that he stole one of your cars to get as far as possible. I'll just catch him in the closest intersection in that case. Firstly, let's check if he even left the hotel with the rope car departure records. Coming with me? Me and Crescent Moon, yes. We'll be able to find him faster if more of us look for him. Plus, it'll be less awkward to look for the killer, my friend, than hanging around here. You aren't against that, right? We'll have an opportunity to chat in the meantime. I'm sure the likes of him can't be allowed to run away from what they did. Ooh. Wrong one. Oops. There we go. Streamer, why are you a beast? Because it's fun to be one, I suppose. I really like the little chew animation. It's quite nice. Storm is brewing. Did he leave the hotel? Strangely enough, no. Wherever he is, he's still here. Did we look around for him? Yes, but the two of you better not split up. If our suspicions are correct, we have a murderer on our hands. Who knows what we can do if confronted alone. Fellas, I think there's something in this bush. Wasn't there the last time I was investigating. It's a bloody carving knife. What's it doing here? Someone tried to dispose of it since the last time we've seen it? Can it be it has clues to the killer's identity? Whatever it is, we need to check on Pumpkin's body. How are they? Still unconscious. Did you find anything? Serviceman is still somewhere in this hotel. Rope car hasn't departed since last we checked. Can't wait for you to accidentally summon one of Casey's sprites during a regular PNG tubering to everyone's confusion. I have the hotkey I have for it is Alt N1 and 2. So that I wouldn't accidentally do it. But hell, I might find an excuse to use it later, who knows? Can you summarize the entire stream in 4 to 6 words? Hold on. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Gay, furry, Halloween, Among Us. Does that help? I think that covers the bases. Amogus is one word by the Amogus and Among Us are two different things. Plus, an Amogus is a noun. That's what the little creatures are. Among Us is the game. The little guy is an Amogus. Serviceman is still somewhere in this hotel. Rope car hasn't departed since last we checked. Oh. There's also the matter of this. Let's see. It's a different knife after all. That mean? Better find servicemen as soon as possible. In this case, me and Crescent Moon will check the first floor while you take care of the second and third. Cup that Mrs. Romero was drinking. Oh, they're just crashing on the couch? I see. Work by SS Seffield, company with a custom bookmark ends in a single blue petal. Go to the lobby and check outside first. Seem to be carefully maintained. Nothing changed there. Nothing under the table. Yep. Not there anymore. The bush has been cut down rather poorly at that. So, assumedly someone took some of these bushes and they're poisonous? Perhaps? If you're interested, click the blue flower near the hint in the lobby for a work in progress of the work on the background. Oh! Oh, hell yeah! I love developer commentary stuff. Thank you. Delightful. One of the most satisfying parts of working on Casey was to see the location backgrounds shape up into what they ended up being. I feel like the lobby might have gotten one of the best cases of this, especially if accounting for the initial quick doodle of what it was in place for a solid chunk of the game jam's development. Very nice. Huh. All the blue flowers are unread dev comments? Nice! Okay, I was wondering what that was. I was sitting on the idea for Casey for a while before stumbling onto an excuse to finally get around to it, the game jam that was happening in September of 2024. I'm wondering if maybe I shouldn't read these just in case there are spoilers? Well, are there spoilers? Because if so, please tell me, because otherwise I won't be able to help myself. With the initial idea for the carved pumpkins latte being that of the pumpkins coffee brew disappearing in a secret society of baristas. Check if spoilers are turned on in the settings. Dev comments? Additionally, you can select spoiler commentary meant for those... Okay. Gotcha. Okay, so it seems like a lot of those settings are on by default. This is a really cool way of doing dev commentary, though. Nice. Nothing out here. One of the main worries I had towards doing a point-and-click mystery game is the amount of interactable things per each location. The addition of a new one that splits up on already existing screens in two was something I was unsure of. Partially so, because I did not wish to water down the pool of clues with meaningless additions, which are there just to fill up space or just to be red herrings. Everything you can find that interact with serves some kind of role, either to the mystery itself or the characters in it. Overall, it was a balancing act, the major pieces of which I had to solidify in a small amount of time during the game jam production. So while I can add more evidence after the fact, I can only introduce less significant clues due to the possibility of a loophole appearing if I were to mess with the setup that I already have going. So if I'll add more clues to be found in future updates, they would definitely serve as that of characterization or implications, rather than straight up lead towards the uncovering of the mystery itself. Ooh. Fun. Let's go to the rooms. As a kid, I used to play a lot of shovelware point-and-click games, yeah, made between the mid-2000s and mid-2010s, and as such, was very eager to try my hand in point-and-click adventure games and finding out how to do them. They would often have a horror aesthetic and plot lines, which in almost every case was just, campy at best. And yet I have a lot of good memories of those kinds of games, tending to replay or finding a new one of those every year or so. Some of them would have interesting little self-contained puzzles, search object sequences, and just a very charming budget vibe to them. Very charming budget vibe is a great way to describe it. Let's go for a style made out of stock photos that we heavily edited to have a unified lighting and coloring style, which was just very striking to me at the time. One of the most memorable series of them to me, yes, series, the number of games and the most popular ones tend to go into double digits, being that of the Phantasmat games, especially the first two. If for some reason you want to dig deeper into those kinds of games, I'd really advise to approach them more akin to that of early Flash games than anything. Of course, the shovelwares weren't the only point-and-clicks I got my hands on. Stuff like Machinarium, which I still need to play, the Deponia series, Crown of Leaves, and the like have given me a more professional and artistically distinct taste for adventure point-and-clicks. Stuff like Sam & Max, Grim Fandango, and classic Daedalic point-and-clicks joining that list in one way or another as well, and then not even mentioning all the non-adventure point-and-clicks that I've gotten to lay my eyes on. Though, if to narrow down the direct inspirations for Casey, I would have to mention probably my favorite whodunit mystery, a game called Tangle Tower. If you enjoyed Casey and haven't experienced it, I can't recommend it enough. It's amazing. Now, all these years later, I wanted to capture that feeling these games gave me. In a way, being a love letter to a genre, I hope to see myself grow in the future. Man, you must have felt very, very pleased with yourself when I immediately invoked old point-and-click Flash games, huh? Oh, you can read this now. It's a book full of business notes. Sad fact, Daedalic, the masters of the 2010s point and clicks, are the devs of Gollum. I guess that's what happens when you're forced to make something outside your wheelhouse, huh? Do not play Tangle Tower. Nick had to tie me down in a chair and tortured me. I see. The last entry, Helen proposes to buy one of the integrated barista establishments in one of her hotels. Bookmark, a few newspaper articles about Blacksword. What has become of the tyrant? Blacksword family sells off. Son attempts to repay the sins of the father. Is there any future for the Blackswords? Window's lock's broken camera. Also, now the roof outside the window seems to have a couple missing roof tiles. When it comes to the clues used to infer the mystery and my approach towards it, I would say that there are 3 different categories for it. Clues that actively prove something during the discussion sequences later on, clues that serve as characterization, and clues that aren't spoken about by the characters in the story. Interesting place to put that. Back in the day when I was starting to write, one of the biggest problems in my works would be that of justifications. It can be very frustrating when you read/watch a story where most of the reasons behind the conflict are just characters not asking very obvious questions, because if they would, there just wouldn't be any story. As such, when I was starting to write, I would tend to overcompensate in that department, with characters just asking so many questions that one would normally ask, yet I wouldn't really get much answers. With at most, me writing a very awkward justification, so it would just be a lot of talk about nothing. It's not enough to just bring up a question that your story raises. You need to use that curiosity to guide the reader and characters towards where the story is going. One of my biggest achievements with this game's writing, especially considering the short development time that I had to write most of it, due to the nature of the initial game jam, is how each line of question leads the reader and characters towards the next one. So if you're someone who likes to write, let me give you this advice. Don't try to swipe away the questions that your story raises, even if they're uncomfortable ones. Instead, try to use those sticking points to improve your story. Good advice. It's closed, not that I care. Broken vase that wasn't here when I first investigated the room. Spilled coffee cup. Knife's gone. Okay, so someone took the knife from there. Roof plates below the window are shaken out of place. Should I be saying American Detective? You couldn't tell already? What am I going to call it? A vase? Is this Far Cry 3? Oh! God damn. Okay. Jesus, that's... Holy shit. Okay, wow. Christ. It's like a fucking creepypasta from when I was in middle school. Jesus, man. This is Serviceman. His throat is slit and his arm has a visible cut on it. In his pockets, a key to Lady Quintessence. In his pockets is a key to Lady Quintessence's room. I think I have everything I need for now. Our inheritor of the Lost Glory and Miss Crescent Moon back? We're here. Ms. Romero, Lady Quintessence, you're all right? Far from it, but at least we're not passed out, dear. Robert made the two of them drink cold water with lemon, and they started feeling a bit better. Don't call me that ever again. Don't ever call me that again. Did you 3 find Bill? Fortunately. Unfortunately, I did. Avert your eyes if you're squeamish. No, it can't be. Bill. Let's just say I don't think he killed himself. Where did you find him? That's the interesting part. It was in the secret room. Hey, to be fair, I assume everyone on the internet is American, despite American mannerisms sticking out like sore thumbs. I believe that you somehow activated a variable for getting a clue you haven't seen. Well, this will be fun when it'll come up. Don't worry. I'm incredibly smart. I will figure it out. I believe, and so it shall become so. What? Yes, the secret room I've told you all about. Needless to say, he wasn't there the last time I checked. So then he was killed between the point in time you last checked the secret room and when you found him. That's quite a small window, isn't it? Came to the meeting about 20 minutes earlier, and then we waited an extra 10 minutes for everyone outside of Serviceman to come around. So there's about a half-hour window between when I've last been to the room and when I found his body. It's troublesome. A lot of us had the opportunity to do it. I did enjoy the Lingo streams. I wonder if I should get back to Lingo too sometime. Lingo is a words-based puzzle game. kind of in the same vein as really pulling a lot heavily from Antechamber and The Witness, but like imagine like The Witness, but like it's good. I really need to get back to Lingo too. I'm really upset I haven't finished that yet. Only word puzzle game I know is Wordle. You should try Lingo. Check out Lingo. Wishlist it. Or, I don't know, it might be on sale for like 10, I don't know on sale, but like, it costs $10. What I've learned, I'm sitting up in my chair because this is important. What I've learned recently is, if you're someone who enjoys puzzle games, and you see, if the world aligns to show you an ad or an announcement or a puzzle game, just a random ass indie puzzle game that you've never heard of before, my advice is to just buy it and play it immediately. I've done that like 4 times since I got Lingo, and every single one of them has been an absolute delight. So that's my advice to you. If you like puzzle games, and the world shows you a puzzle game, just do that right now. Do it as soon as possible. By which I mean, as soon as I'm done with stream, go play Lingo. Barry only listens to Cartoon Wolves. I see. Nick, can you tell Barry to buy Lingo? Maybe it'd be more effective that way. Except Bobby, that is. He was with me shortly after I'd been to the secret room. On top of that, you can serve as Crescent Moon's alibi and vice versa. Same goes for Double Trouble, leaving only Lady Quintessence. Why are you even here? For all the theorizing you've done, you never give us the opportunity to consider you as the killer. What purpose would I have to kill? No authority can catch me, so this charade wouldn't play any purpose to me. Even if it wasn't you yourself, something must have come looking after you. But most of this night, I've been seeing something. Things I couldn't explain. But what purpose is there to doubt my own mind when there's already one creature unbound by laws of our reality already around? Is it so out there to propose their baggage has come hunting down those around them? You accuse me of wild theories. You're so certain that it's not just in your mind that you close your eyes to hard facts. What facts are you talking about, harbinger of death? You passed out before seeing some sort of creature unseen to us, showing the same kinds of symptoms as Ms. Romero over there. Ms. Romero, please answer. Have you seen a creature of any kind? Not when I passed out, no. Oh, I don't know how I never noticed it, but I like the little ears popping up there. It's cute. Voila. Amazing pose. I love it every time I see it. But I saw something when I was back in my room. Excuse me? I saw things. Things I'd prefer not to talk about. Things that couldn't have been real. When you shared it, what happened over me, writing it off as stress-induced illusions, but now I'm not so sure. It would only be fair to share that I've seen things as well. Nothing as big as what my wife shared with me, but still worrisome. Was this the case for anyone else? If we count small visual hallucinations, then somewhat, yes. Somewhat, I guess. Yes. Sure. Huh. I believe the key to what has happened to you lies within... Oh, is it... Oh, it's... Okay, yeah, it's just giving me all the blue. A book? No? Okay, didn't mean to pick that. Or are we just talking about all... Okay. Book. Bobby, can you summarize the story of this book? And specifically about the flower in it? So you figured it out. Yes, the flower in the book causes numerous hallucinations to the characters. In the book, it uses the fictional name of Silence Nevermore, but its characteristics are quite similar to an existing flower, Nightheart's Elysium. A flower that grows around this hotel. What's that supposed to mean? You're growing hallucinogens? I have to stress that it's not the main use of this flower. Normally, it's used as a faint muscle relaxant, with its scent in particular causing a sense of tranquility. It is legal and widely used by a lot of resorts, given that they have a license for it, which I do, mind you. This is why you knew what to do when Lady Quintessence and Ms. Romero collapsed, isn't it? That's right. I didn't say anything about it, because, to put it bluntly, I didn't want to be sued. I feared that the flowers were consumed accidentally, as you see. Usually as precautions, we would have other kinds of flowers inside the hotel itself. Much more tonight if it delayed. I'd ask servicemen to cut a bush from the back of the hotel. However, seeing that nearly everyone saw something tonight, I have reason to believe that what happened with Ms. Romero and Lady Essence wasn't an accident. What's that supposed to mean? On its own, the flower is harmless, but if mixed with coffee brew, it can cause mild or severe hallucination, combined with a sense of weakness depending on the way it's prepared. I haven't felt weak, even though I've seen some stuff myself. Depends whether the petals were just added into the coffee itself, or it was grinded beforehand. And just as you say, there was a trace of grinded Nightheart's Elysium stuck at the bottom of that cup Miss Romero spilled. So, what, someone poisoned us on purpose? Well, poisoned is a strong word, implying pain or harm. In your case, someone has tried to incapacitate you. Someone poisoned us. And I believe that I know who it was. You? Oh yes, I believe that our one and only Black Sword hasn't been fully truthful with us tonight. Is that so? You see, I believe that... What has Black Sword been hiding? Why they came to this party, their true identity, what they've done? I think it's true identity. Okay, well, part of me is saying true identity, and my reason for believing this is the little snippet from the notes underneath Double Trouble's pillow, which referred to the Black Sword's child as a son, when Inheritor here has explicitly omitted their gender. The person standing in front of us isn't actually Black Sword. What's that supposed to mean? Oh, what made you think so? I found something that puts your identity into question. Hey, that's my notebook. You see, this notebook had an interesting paper article in it. Son attempts to repay the sins of the father. Oh, wow. I'm kind of amazed I got that. Nice. But then I remembered a little slip of the tongue from Crescent Moon as we were talking about you. Or rather to say, when we were talking about Black Sword. Something along the lines of, well, his father was the reason for the current unionization and labor laws to even be made in the first place. His father, not their father. She was talking about the real Black Sword, not you. I'm sorry for that. I thought I didn't notice it. It's alright. More dramatic of an entrance. Well, bravo, you're right. I'm not Mr. Black Sword. Who in the world are you, and how did you know that I've invited them? Well, I do know Black Sword. You see, I'm actually... One moment, please. Can I guess? Yes. Think you have enough to go off of as to know my true identity? I think I do. You said evidence points towards this person's true identity. I'm gonna take a wild... Well, hold on. Okay, well, part of me is thinking it's the sticky note that I don't remember getting. But also, we have this book that's signed by the author, and Bones doesn't remember having an author-signed copy. I mean, I feel like it's probably the sticky note. But I want to see what happens if I pick the book. You're S.S. Sefio, author of this book. Oh, aren't you the Let's fucking go! Nice! Man, I'm good! Aren't you the perceptive one? You gotta be kidding me. Seriously. Really, gotta say, I love your Crimson Antlers, a masterclass of slow-burning terror. Always nice to hear compliments about that one, considering how rarely it's mentioned on its own, but how did you know? Shouldn't have signed the book if you didn't want to be found out. I checked the guest book and noticed that the handwriting and the signature on this book and the guest one are quite similar. Oh, yeah, no, that's definitely how I knew the two were connected. Why in the world did you pretend to be a black sword? Had you written to me, I would have given you an invite myself. Oh, come on, it's Halloween! A night to wear masks and pretend to be someone monstrous. How could I pass on the opportunity to play a child of a wicked creature such as Blacksword? Mari figured that trying to please the public in this situation is an uphill battle, so he just doesn't bother to do that and propose that I go under his name. Well, as an opportunity to play on my nerves. So what? Blacksword is actually some horror writer? What does that have to do with my wife and Lady Quintessence being poisoned? Right, Cephio, you're the one who wrote the book that heavily relies upon the knowledge of how Nightheart's Elysium works, yet you haven't brought it up at any point, including when Lady Quintessence started wildly theorizing regarding her hallucination. How come? I guess it just slipped my mind. Joke around with me. You've been silent because the person who poisoned the coffee was Miss Crescent Moon. Considering the two of you have known each other for a while now, she must have read your book as well. Meaning that she knew about the flower and possibly even its real-life counterpart. You recognize what's happening, and that's why you tagged along with me to look for servicemen to talk about that. Good theory, but not nearly enough evidence to support it. Oh, who cares at this point? Yes, I poisoned them. Little. I knew you were a petty one, but to stoop so low as to poison my wife because your own girlfriend died is just pathetic. I didn't try to poison your wife, you egocentric idiot. You were the one for whom that poison was intended for. She just drank it by mistake. Oh, that does make more sense. Michelle, don't just agree with her. Oh, hon, I wouldn't have married you had I not been ready to be poisoned by one of your competitors. That's just part of the deal. Aww. That's pretty sweet, actually. Oh, for the love... Why did you poison us? Because I'm sure that one of you killed Pumpkin. Think I'll just stay on the sidelines and do nothing about it? This is preposterous. I had no ill intent towards her. Oh, please, you're the most two-faced person here. If she wasn't killed in your room, I would still suspect you. I don't need to explain why I suspected Mr. Romero. And why did you poison everyone else? I figured that if the police were to drug test us, it would be suspicious for only Lady Quintessence and Mr. Romero to have traces of Nightheart's Elysium. So I added a small dose to everyone's coffee, even mine. Girl, you're so gonna get sued. As if you won't be in prison for murder before then. Enough! This is all nice, but where does it lead us? Well, yes, this little detour into the mystery of deranged dames and the dramatic games. Oh, nice sentence structure there. Very fun and flowing. Reveals that we were drugged, some more than others, as well as who has drugged us. Does it lead us any closer towards figuring out any of the two murders? That's something I'm not really sure about, to be honest. Sometimes it's just good to go with the flow and see where it leads. But even then, we were able to unravel one part of what happened today. It means we'll have an easier time figuring out the rest. Okay. Once again, what do we know? Everyone's taking a little sip together. Serviceman was killed sometime within a half-hour window. During it, nearly everyone formed a pair, so each person can testify for the other's alibi. Leaves only Lady Quintessence unaccounted for. Not to mention that she's the one who diverted the flow of the investigation in the first place. Actually accusing the lady of murder, after you tried to cover up that I was poisoned, are you? First time for everything. How stupid do you expect me to be? To kill someone in my own room after there was already another murder in it? After our first meeting, in the window of time when Serviceman was murdered, I've yet to reveal my discovery of the secret room. It's quite possible that a certain someone, while still thinking that no one else knew about the secret room, killed Serviceman and hid his body there to then dispose of it later. That's just ridiculous. One more thing. The door to your room is closed. So, a copy of my key is still somewhere out there. Anyone who found it could have closed it. Except that I found the key to your room in Serviceman's pocket. Too many coincidences for one night. Oh, please. The murderer must have killed Serviceman in my room, hid his body in the secret room, closed the door from inside, and then got out through the elevator entrance. No, it's impossible to use the elevator entrance as an exit due to its height and space. The only way Serviceman's killer would be able to get out is either through Lady Quintessence's or Pumpkin's door, needing a key to the corresponding room to close it behind them, with Pumpkin's body having her key and Serviceman hanging a key to LQ's room on them. The only person who had a copy of Pumpkin's key having an alibi at the time of the murder. Well, for all we know, the killer could have dropped servicemen through the elevator access without entering the secret room itself to begin with. They would have had to get the body from the place of the murder all the way to the elevator, climb to the highest part, and then drag it at least, 7-kilogram body, 3 meters high, all the while not being spotted or leaving a trace of being dragged. Not if there were 2 of them. You're not seriously implicating us. Sorry, dear, but I'm back against the wall here. Just think, isn't it possible that the Romeros killed him during that period of time? Hit him on top of the elevator, somewhere in the shadow of a roof support. For the Romero to then move the body later on in order to implicate me. He'd take a trip to the 3rd floor when going after medicine as Ms. Romero collapsed. Would have climbed into the roof pathway to drop serviceman's body to implicate lid quintessence should he and his wife if he and his wife prepared in advance. We're just jumping between theories at this point. Well, there is a piece of evidence that can give us a better idea regarding its murderer. There is a piece of evidence that can give us a better idea regarding its murderer. This I'm not sure about. I'm not sure what that's pointing towards. For some reason I feel like the knife that we found in a bush. Which bush exactly? One to the left of the hotel entrance. Well, this is interesting. Do you remember which room's window is located just in the corner between the terrace and the hotel's front side? Double troubles. You're implying that we threw the knife out of our window. But even so, why hide the knife? Why under their own window? Wouldn't it make more sense to just throw it into the nearly unreachable cliffs at the base of the hotel? Too much trouble to only raise more suspicion in a scenario where the knife is found. If anything, the most logical window to dispose of the knife that any suspect outside of you may think is yours. Wait. If anything, the most logical window to dispose of a knife that any suspect outside of you may think of is yours. Gotcha. So what? Serviceman's murder happened in a short frame of time. I wouldn't have had time to go outside and plant the knife, nor thrown it far enough for it to land specifically under Romero's window from mine. No, there is one way. I assume the window itself? Pumpkin's body was found on it. Pumpkin's body was on it for some time before it slid down. You could have used it to get towards Double Trouble's window and then drop the blade from that part of the hotel. Wait, that must be it. Romero must have gotten into my room from the window that was open since the start of the investigation. That way he could have closed the door from inside and then get out through his own window. That must be it. Also, Double Trouble's window is broken. What? No, it can't be. It can't be. Fine. Can't go on like this. Drag my name through the dirt enough during this embarrassment of a defense. Ellen. Yes, I killed servicemen, but only servicemen. We're listening. I haven't visited my room until a bit before our first meeting. What reason would I have to do so at that time? We didn't know that the window from which Pumpkin fell out was mine and not her own. But when I was about to enter my room, I saw that the door to it was open, and inside it was serviceman, doing something behind an open painting. I tried to glimpse at what he was doing until the wooden floor creaked, letting him know about my presence. In hindsight, it's possible that he was trying to get rid of some evidence. Panicked, and the next thing I remember was him trying to hit me with a vase. Grabbed a carving knife in self-defense, the one from the pumpkin, yep. First swing cut his arm, the second his throat. I didn't mean for him to die, I just didn't want to repeat the fate that fell upon our dear pumpkin. Just to think, Bill would attempt to harm you, a person he worked for more than a decade. Why didn't you tell me? Sorry for trying to shift the suspicion onto you. Thought that if I marked up the waters, it would be harder to prove that I was the one who killed him, even if not intentionally. Miss Crescent Moon, I swear, I didn't do anything to Pumpkin. Considering Serviceman's actions, it's highly possible that he found my lost key, invited Miss Pumpkin into my room under some excuse, and then killed her to put all the suspicion onto me. Is that right? Excuse me? What evidence throws into question Lady Quintessence's story? I feel like it's this. Nope. Oh, okay, sorry. The ring? Also no. The crossword? Or sorry, not crossword. Sudoku? Not Sudoku, alright. This time, for sure. The knife. Oh. I said out loud... I see. Gotcha. So I make all those fucking amazing snap connections, and then the shit that I say out loud is the one that I get it wrong on. Awesome. Ace detective over here. You see, this is a knife from your own room. From your room. So what of it? There are knives in a lot of jack-o'-lanterns. You said that you grabbed that knife, the knife as Serviceman noticed you entering the room, and yet, instead of running away as he attacked you, you somehow made your way to the opposite side of the room and grabbed the knife before Serviceman was able to do anything. No signs of struggle in that part of the room itself. If anything, that vase that you stated Serviceman to use was closer to the entrance. Lady Quintessence intended to kill Serviceman. She took the knife before the two of them met. And the vase was used by him for self-defense. Helen. I think I know why she tried to kill him. You see, Lady Quintessence alludes that she did intend to kill someone else tonight. In fact, someone who still stands in this room. What's that supposed to mean? See, it's quite possible that trying to get rid of the evidence was the only thing he intended to do in your room. He was looking for something else in particular. This one. No, damn. This. Cash bill? The cash bill stole over the years? Oh, Bobby, you're mistaken. None of this was stolen. It was payment. Helen, say something. No comment? Why is that now? Afraid to give any information that might give the police enough to work with, to put you behind bars? Well then, let me tell you how this night was supposed to play out. Prior to Old Bones Bobby, you used your own hotel, with Serviceman here working here even back then, so the two of you knew each other quite well. You knew that after working here more than 20 years, he wanted to turn his life around. But how could he? He never made enough to afford moving somewhere else. Free room for staff was too good to just let go of in his situation. So you proposed a deal, one that he couldn't say no to. Kill, and you'll get money. Fast forward to tonight, when your little arrangement was supposed to play out, and before you know it, you hear a scream coming from the terrace. A body was found, but it wasn't the body of the person you were expecting. It was Pumpkin. How come? Wasn't what you agreed upon. Couldn't confront Serviceman in front of us, so you left with double trouble as an excuse to later meet up with him. When you did, you were sure he was the one who must have killed Pumpkin. Too much of a coincidence. You see him trying to find the money that was meant to be in a secret room, so you confront him. And everything plays out just as how you described, with the exception of you already being ready to kill him. This is all a nice little theory you baked there, but a huge stack of cash can't be the only evidence you have for that. Well then, wouldn't you want to take a look at this? Okay, so I was right! Is this supposed to be addressed to me? I found it in the secret compartment of Lady Quintessence's table. Yeah, I definitely found it. Yeah, for sure. And if you have any doubts about the author of this card, I recommend you compare it to this. It's Lady Quintessence's handwriting. You know what would be a more interesting way of presenting evidence? To have a health bar that limits the amount of failed submissions you can have, which can be easily circumvented by an ever-present save load option. So true! So true! I will say one thing you missed out on, though, is presenting wrong evidence and everyone being like, hey, you fucking idiot, that's not right. Although I guess you get some of that with Casey's very displeased nope cut in. I have nothing to say until I see my lawyer. Tried to kill my husband. Why? As far as I can say, the reasoning is simple. Money. What? What? Now, I know that sounds bad. What? She did propose to buy out one of the cafes placed in one of her hotels, didn't she? Mr. Romero was the face of your company. Had he died, your company would face at least some kind of financial trouble. Give it just a bit of time, and Lady Quintessence would propose to buy out more and more of your establishments for a much lesser price. All that just to make me sell a bunch of coffee chain places? You're a businesswoman just like me, Michelle. You know how it works. Can we restrain her until the police get here? I'll look for a rope. Go on. You're just giving more for my lawyer to play around with. I swear I'm gonna kill her. This is why you invited Crescent Moon, Pumpkin, and even Black Sword. Create as many suspects who might have had motivation to kill Mr. Romero. That is, if he was considered to be killed at least. That's why the chains in the basement were just lying on the ground. You agreed with servicemen to incapacitate him in the middle of the night, get him out the back, and throw him down the cliffs. At best, it would look like an accident. I found rope. We really need to do this. Yeah, no chance we're trusting you with as much as moving till the police comes around. So what? Bill killed Pumpkin while trying to steal from her, while Lady Quintessence killed Bill for doing that? Hard to tell yet. Feels like I'm missing something, but I can't put a finger on it yet. Don't know how you know about, don't know how about you all. I think it would just be don't know about you all, but I can take a break from all this. We'll hardly agree on that. Well, let me know if I find any. Well, we'll let you know if I find anything. Oh, there's more. I see. I wasn't expecting more. Dev comments. When it comes to writing, I tend to strongly prefer a say a lot with as little as you can approach. Ideally, I want each line to play 2 or more roles in what it's doing towards the story. If it's an exposition, this is the end of Act 2. In the Game Jam version, this leads straight into the ending, where Pumpkin's killer explained why they did so in a Scooby-Doo-esque manner. I run out of time. I see. Supposed to be a characterization, comedic line, foreshadowing, or something of some kind. It's not that I don't think that writers can have fun with some side stuff, but it needs to serve more than a single function. Otherwise, you end up with a story that patronizes its reader. Like often seen watering down its content by more than twice its runtime, repeating stuff that it's afraid for you to miss out on, then pull a fast one and bring up a single line of foreshadowing that's been mentioned only once in comparison. If the story expects me to care for what it says, I need to know that it doesn't waste my time so as to not filter out potentially interesting foreshadowing or other elements. Condensed, relatively fast to go through stories that you're encouraged to replay and notice new interesting details over watered down slogs. I might not always succeed in this approach, I'm an artist first and a writer second after all, but I'm very interested in improving it and telling the kinds of stories I myself want to see in me. You can see how passive aggressive I am to Persona in such games here. Yeah, just a little. We knew each other for 14 years. Thought I had a friend in you. Can't believe you just attempt to kill my husband after all that. Darling, I've allegedly killed Bill the serviceman, who I knew for more than 15 years. Had the part about your husband not been revealed, you would have pretended to sympathize with me by going through such a traumatic experience. Please spare me your crocodile tears. Only reason you ever stomached me was because it was convenient for you. I confided in you when my mother died. How was that in any way performative? I didn't say performative, I said convenient, and so was that. The only reason you came crying to me is because you had no one else who would listen to what you had to say. Don't you ever speak to her? Oh, damn. Well, why did you stop at just one slap? Oh, the mask comes off. Sure, quiet boy like you wanted to get an excuse to do so for a while, didn't you? What's that supposed to mean? Go figure. Your wife isn't a very good judge of character, given how blind she was about me. Who can even tell how much she misjudged you? I had enough of this. Hate you. Whatever will come to pass after this night ends, it won't be enough for you. Oh dear, you're an entrepreneur just like me. You should know that there's never enough of anything. Well, didn't you blend in nicely enough? Feeling comfortable, aren't you? Not by any means, my dear. Just have to push enough buttons to make them do something that my lawyers will have a pleasant time playing around with. Luckily for me, having a shade involved in all this, as well as everyone being affected by a hallucinogen, will make this case quite unreliable. So I guess I have to send you and Miss Crescent Moon my bonjours for that. Acting like that'll save you from the sentence of possibly murdering two... You've been nosy enough as to figure out that I killed Bill. Would you really stop now when you can push the blame as to what happened with me? With what happened with Pumpkin on me? You know that it doesn't make sense for me to be the one who killed her. So why won't we end this charade and get to the bottom of who did? This doesn't make sense. I love the heart nose is a little design element I'm very fond of there. I've known him ever since I was a teen. Never imagined that he... Still can't say for sure that the serviceman was the one who killed her, especially when we know for certain that Lady Quintessence was the one who killed him. I don't believe that Bill would be capable of murdering anyone, let alone Miss Pumpkin. Did I say that to him agreeing to kill Mr. Romero? Something I've been considering to tell you, Miss Crescent Moon. Now when neither Pumpkin nor Bill with us, I feel you deserve to know. Huh? It's about the last time you and Miss Pumpkin visited this place and how I've stumbled onto something. Walking past a window overlooking the yard in front of the hotel, I've noticed Miss Pumpkin standing at the edge of a cliff. Excuse me? Back then there wasn't a fence there. She was standing at the very edge of it. I was about to run down, fearing the worst, but as I was about to do so, I saw Bill coming towards her. They appeared to be talking with each other. A minute later, Bill walked out of my view, Pumpkin alone where she was. Soon after, she stepped away from the edge. I've never asked either of them about it. No, none of them are here to tell us what happened that evening. That. Knew about it. She told me about that a couple of months ago. I won't go into details, but yeah, she had her problems. All of us do. Still decided to take an invitation to this party despite that? Casey, this is one of those cases where one should better approach with tact. No, that's fair. I have my reservations about it, but Pumpkin assured me that everything would be alright. Let's just say things didn't turn out like we hoped. Maybe if I didn't stay behind and chat with guests after our conversation with Double Trouble, she wouldn't have left the party room on her own. Maybe she would still be here. Don't let yourself get stuck in the trappings of that kind of thinking. Hey, get to it. I think we have everything we need to unravel what happened this night. Talking about, didn't we uncover what the Lady Quintessence was the one behind the murders? She, a serviceman, was killed by her hand, yeah. It's not that we have more evidence to reach any conclusions with. I bet's on Lady Q. Only suspicions towards Bill being a killer, while knowing for sure that she killed at least one person tonight. Poor Bobby, always leaning towards the most deceptively apparent and safe options. Live a little. Do I look like the kind of lady to allegedly stab a couple of folks in the back within the same evening? Shut it. Well, Casey, quite spot on before. It's only fair to lend our ears to what you have to say now. Well, thank you for giving me a stage. Who do you think the killer is at this point in the story? I think it might be Cephio. I'm thinking Cephio. If only because they had some history with Pumpkin. And the wedding ring in particular went missing. It's true we don't have any new evidence, and from the first look of things, everything seems clear. Either Lady Q or serviceman killed Pumpkin, the first killing second later. But here lies the detail we have averted the very first time. Why did Pumpkin's body end up on the roof under Lady Quintessence's window? Do hide it? Oh, right. Her serviceman's murder, we can say for certain that she knew about the secret room behind the painting. That's where she hid him. Might have just as well asked me about it. Shush, I enjoy hearing myself think much more than you talking. It is strange. Not knowing about the secret room, it's very unlikely that she would choose to just throw Pumpkin on the roof. It would make it too easy to find, as we were able to tell from first-hand experience. So, in other words, Sumari, it's very likely that whoever killed Pumpkin didn't know about the secret room? But wait, didn't we conclude that Serviceman was the one who stole Crescent Moon's wedding ring and the money, and that Lady Quintessence kept in the secret room to pay him for the murder of Mr. Double Trouble? Well, we've lost our reason to believe that he was stealing tonight, especially since he was going to get paid. So why would he steal the wedding ring if he's going to be getting paid? Well, there are some theories that can come up with regarding the former. The money was definitely in the secret room. The only way he could have gotten them is by getting inside it. Well, we still can't be sure where the money was when the serviceman found them, right? We only know that they were there at some point. Neither can we be sure that Pumpkin's key wasn't stolen and given back to her between when she was killed and when we found her body. So you're proposing that Bill killed Miss Pumpkin, got her key, then open her room with it and steal the wedding ring, put the key back in her pocket, and only then start disposing of the body? Yeah, well, it's good to question the basics. I think this will be us reaching out. Meaning, Bill knew about the secret room. Yes, geniuses. But wait, does it mean that whoever killed Pumpkin didn't know about the secret room? Well, isn't this something? Bet you didn't want to hear that when asking a shade to perform their little play, right, Romero? No, we can say for certain that Pumpkin's killer knew about the secret room. What proved that Pumpkin's killer knew about the secret room? Oh, I didn't see that. Well, the coffee stain. Give me 1 second. Coffee stain proves that not only did Pumpkin's killer know about the secret room, Pumpkin did as well, but also that during her murder, the entrance to Lady Quintessence's room was opened. So, doesn't that mean that we're back to square one? It's either Lady Quintessence or Serviceman. Sorry, sweetie, but our friendly Shadow has a point. That secret room was opened during Pumpkin's murder, but it doesn't mean that the two of us were the only ones aware of it. Which would explain why, despite knowing about the secret room, the murderer didn't decide to hide Pumpkin's body there. They were putting suspicion on Lady Quintessence. It's hard to swallow the idea of Bill doing that because he would have to know that Lady Quintessence would route his involvement in the planned murder of Mr. Double Trouble. But if it was someone else who knew about the secret room, well, that would make so much more sense. Do you have any ideas as to who might have been aware of it before you told the rest of us about it? Well, he would know about it, considering it's his hotel room, assumedly. Well, the way I knew about the secret room was because I used to own this hotel, just for a couple of years, mind you. Meanwhile, Bobby over there has had it in his care for a decade by now. So you're saying that Bobby might be the one who knew about the secret? Whoa, no way! No way! They went exactly where I was going! Holy shit! Cool! Yes, dear, the thing that I'm saying is the thing that is being said. Try to keep up. I'm not going to chew everything for you to understand. Well, Bobby, did you know about it? I actually didn't. So Hotel's last interior renovations were made under Lady Quintessence's leadership, which is how both she and Bill must have known about it. I can't believe that being a cheapskate has proven useful to you. Still, 10 years. How could you not stumble onto it during that time? Well, Bill is the only one who would usually be on cleaning duty, so I never properly investigated most of the numbered rooms we have to offer. Let alone climbing onto the elevator's cage. I'm no youngling to do such things. My bones would break into tiny pieces of shattered glass if I were to do that. Regardless of even if Bobby knew about the secret room, there's something that's been bugging me for some time. Why did Pumpkin get killed in Lady Quintessence's room? To incarcerate me? Yes, but why not kill her somewhere else and only then move the body? Well, we didn't find any blood outside of the spot of the roof that she was on. Her sweater absorbed a lot of it, so we can't really be sure where she was killed. Not sure, but we have a lot of things pointing towards Pumpkin being killed there. What points toward Pumpkin being killed in Lady Quintessence's room? The coffee. Pumpkin has traces of coffee on her sleeve. Spilled cup is on the floor in LQ's room, and more coffee is on both the wall and framing of the wall inside the secret room. So what? Not only was she just killed in that room, but she was also just casually drinking coffee there with the secret room being open. Makes you think, doesn't it? She was stabbed in the back. There isn't a lot of room to run all the while carrying a drink in her hand. Only natural to assume that she dropped her coffee the moment she was stabbed, and I think all of you know what that means. She trusted whoever killed her. I think I know who killed Pumpkin. I'm going for it. Full send. Close, but yet closer. Aww. Aww. I didn't want it to be that. That sucks. Man. It was you, Miss Crescent Moon, wasn't it? What? I think you're barking up the wrong tree here, fella. Well, I'd be barking up yours if the game didn't tell me no. Is that so? We know that Pumpkin was murdered by someone she would trust enough to follow them into a secret room and then later turn their back on them. Well, would she trust more than her own fiancé? We're talking about trusted enough to go along with them, not the most trusted. And even then, you were there when we opened Pumpkin's room. You really say that you trusted me, considering that she didn't even give me a key to her number? And that's the thing. I think that's what led you to her murder. What? You're not seriously telling me that I killed her because she didn't give me a key to her room? No, I don't think that was the reason, but I think that's what led you to do that. What? Firstly, let's do a simple narrowing down of our suspects. For someone to access the secret room, they have to either go through Lady Quintessence's room or the passage under the roof, which they would have to climb the elevator's framework, knowing that it was there in the first place to begin with. We've discussed how it doesn't make sense for either Lady Quintessence or Serviceman to have killed Pumpkin, and with both of them having each of the only keys to Lady Quintessence's room, we can cross out the possibility of an entrance there to be the entry point, leaving only the passage from an elevator. While we might suspect Bobby to have known about the secret room, his age wouldn't allow him to climb all the way up and jump 2 meters down. Either of the double troubles would only be too suspicious for her to decide not only to follow, but also to turn their back on them. And finally, well, what about you? How can I trust that a paranormal being who can traverse shadows that disregard the laws, that not just come up with the charade of murder mystery for their own entertainment? You used to visit this hotel since childhood, right? What? Said so yourself. Kid stuck in a hotel whose main point is to relax and escape the troubles that wait outside. Doesn't seem like there's much to do, does it? Would it be so out there to propose that you had more than enough time and curiosity as to just climb the framing of the elevator, finding the secret room back then? And what, you want to say that she would jump 2 meters down the only way, the one-way hole, not getting even a sprained ankle? What? That's how you got all the way back in the day. That's how you got it all the way back in the day, isn't it? It's nothing more than speculation. And yet there are even more things pointing towards you. So what? You think I just crawled into the secret room and then invited Pumpkin to go with me to Lady Quintessence's room, where I just stabbed her because of what? Getting mad at her for not sharing a room with me? Nothing like that. I'm dying. Oh fuck. What's in this coffee? It's absurd. No, you're just making it sound like that because we don't know the motive behind it yet. What possible motive could there be for me to do something like that? I wonder that myself. I find your logic a bit contradictory. I know that the knife in Pumpkin's body was the one that LQ and Serviceman prepared to murder Double Trouble with. Oh, welcome, Alice. Holy shit! And Allison rating me? What? What the hell? Hi. Hold on. We're just gonna pause real quick. Hello there. Hi, everyone. I don't have a whole spiel like Allison usually does, but welcome. Happy to have you. You may know me from the times that I raid Allison's channel. Wow, there's Joe emojis. There are Joe emojis. Anyway, hi. We're at the very end of Casey Noir and the Carved Pumpkins Latte, as in the killer is being revealed right now. If you haven't heard of this, it's free on Steam and only about, I would say, 2 hours long or so. Allison was playing Night in the Woods. Well, hell of a game to raid into this from, considering the author's inspirations and admirations, as it were. But yeah, we're here at the very end. So, you know, if it seems interesting to you, please look away. Gotta raid and run because I have stuff to do, but I hope the ending goes well. If You're the best. Thank you for being awesome. Okay, bye. Have a good one, Allison. Hope you're enjoying Night in the Woods. I know I did. Gotta bounce the one I saw you were streaming. I added it to my account. Go for it, yeah. It's 2 hours. Check it out. All right, back to it. Spoilers ahoy! You know that the knife in Pumpkin's body was the one that LQ and Serviceman prepared to murder Mr. Double Trouble. I'm the main Night in the Woods propagandist for Joe to play Night in the Woods, and I did this game. It's true. Not only are you the main Night in the Woods propagandist for Joe, it's spread to Mouse fan art as well. I mean, I gotta admire the dedication, if nothing else. Although, Mouse has also played Night in the Woods, and much like me, was there when the documentary was filmed, since we both live in Pittsburgh and all. So, because the murder weapon wasn't prepared in advance, if we will still go with that line of thinking that neither LQ or Serviceman would be a reasonable candidate, that would mean that the murder wasn't premeditated, or at least not until the murderer stumbled onto the weapon. I don't think that Julia would just sneak into a secret room for who even knows what reasons, find a knife, and be like, "Hey love, come here, look at this cool painting," and stab her in the back. Exactly. That is, unless there was something that changed her initial reasoning for sneaking into the secret room. What are you talking about? Once someone drops from the roof entrance into the secret room, they can exit the hallway only through either Pumpkin's or my room's door. So what would happen if both rooms had someone in them? She would have to wait for one of you to leave. And while she waited, she would be able to listen to either one of us, specifically onto me and Serviceman. What's that supposed to mean? The two of us had a little chat, and while I cannot confirm exactly what we talked about, I think some of you know where this is going. Scheming my murder. Darling, I think you forgot to add allegedly right there. Would be awkward to chat without that little addition. And what? Instead of telling anyone about it, she just killed Pumpkin? Where's the logic in any of this? I mean, I think I see what she's trying to say. Oh? Oh? Let's go into this thinking that Miss Crescent Moon wanted Pumpkin dead, but not wanting to kill her. What in the world are you talking about? What is this? Can't find reasoning, instead you're making it up? My girlfriend is dead and you all accuse me of killing her with nothing but baseless theories. I think you'd prefer to stay quiet now, so that your silence during our conversation about your poisoning won't incriminate you even more. What are you talking about? Oh, don't worry, we'll get to that. Bobby, continue. Your comment regarding the story of Pumpkin nearly jumping off the cliff a couple of years back rubbed me the wrong way. You know about Pumpkin's experience at this hotel. At best, it's just negligence, but at worst, can we really be sure that part of the reason as to why you took on the invitation was in hopes of that experience to repeat? You say something as heartless as that, or these two... Is it maybe... That was the case. Could it be that when Pumpkin left the party room, you, without having a key, decided to check on her through the room through the secret passage, which made you stumble onto the knife, and money, having Lady Quintessence come to the room soon after, talking with the Serviceman about the planned murder of my husband, overhearing the fact that there was any suspicion of foul play that Sephiu, who at the time believed would be Blacksword, or Shade would be the first ones the police would have their eyes on. Of course, that would have easily been prevented with a simple accusation, but that might have negatively affected your reputation if you weren't able to prove it. Is that right? You're deplorable. Take your words back. I don't think the reason would be something as insignificant as reputation. You're saying this only because you don't know her well enough. If we're going to go with a theory that she wanted Pumpkin to die but not necessarily murder her, and stumbling on a murder scheme in the process would be the second best thing to her, outside of a scenario where Pumpkin would successfully get away with what she attempted a couple of years ago. When the investigation would start, the police would start with the most obvious leads. Murder being committed in Lady Quintessence' room, body hidden under her window, murder weapon being prepared by Serviceman and LQ, stash with stolen valuable stuff hidden somewhere. Serviceman would be the first suspect, and any other loose thread left would, from the set-up planned murder of Mr. Double Trouble. So she took the opportunity that presented itself to her. No, I wouldn't do something like that. Why are you trying to set me up for something I didn't do? I guess it's time to move on to the poisoning. What about it? You already know that Julia added different doses of Nightheart's Elysium to our beverages after we found the body, suspecting either Mr. Double Trouble or Lady Quintessence. Being right when it comes to the latter. That's the thing. We moved on from it so fast that we didn't look into the details. Meaning, Timing of it all. The given reason for why Crescent Moon did so was her reaction to Pumpkin's death, which makes you think, when would she even have an opportunity to do that? What? It's true. Finding the body, all of us were in a single group, with you being in the center of attention, as you were the only one who had the closest relationship with Pumpkin. No way you could have poisoned anyone's drinks then. Then, everyone except me left the party room. If anyone came along, I would have noticed them, especially with the elevator's sound. Me and my husband spent the rest of our free time before our first discussion in the chambers, where it would be impossible for anyone to sneak in unnoticed. Still drinking from the same cup as you did before during the entirety of that conversation. Julia, when did you poison them? Okay, maybe my justification for poisoning wasn't genuine. I intended to poison Mr. Romero from the beginning of this evening. Pumpkin's surprising death was an excuse I gave him being found out. What are you talking about? After our first meeting here, I slipped some of the grinded Nightheart's Elysium into a cup that I thought servsman would serve to double trouble, which ended up going towards Lady Quintessence, with my second attempt ending up in Mrs. Romero's hands. When would you even poison the others with regular petals, then? Slightly before the discovery of Pumpkin's body, while not everyone has returned yet, I dropped some petals in all the drinks. So what? You just decided to poison someone for no good reason? When would you have had the time to grind the flower into dust? I did it before arriving at the hotel. Yeah, that's right. Did you get the flowers needed for that, then? Only resorts and hotels such as mine have a license to use it. Been here before, haven't I? Julia, do you hear yourself? So you want to say that the last time you've been to this hotel, a couple of years ago, you took some Nightheart's Elysium, grinded it into dust, saved it until this night, came to this hotel with your girlfriend, who had a suicidal episode the last time she was here, poisoned Lady Quintessence and Mrs. Romero while attempting to do that to Mr. Romero, and the only possible time frame when you would be able to do that, spent most of your night away from your girlfriend when you didn't even feel who didn't feel like even giving you a key to her room, with her later being found dead with circumstances where you're one of the most likely suspects. We look past the literal planned murder that anyone who knew about the secret room could have used to cover the most likely leads towards themselves. I know, wouldn't you know, there's some reasons to believe that you did know about that room. What a surprise. Steph, you've known me for years. Do you really think I would do something like that? I don't know. I never would have imagined that you would plan to poison anyone. And even in the best case scenario, it's something that you have undeniably done. Really good framing. How are you? I don't know. Not that the way I feel right now would change and the police would take her away, but it didn't. She killed my best friend, Beyonce. I lied to protect her when I realized that she poisoned Lady Q and Mrs. Double Trouble, all the while not even taking a minute to think about the implications behind what she did. I was a fool. I wish our first meeting would have transpired under better circumstances. Need an emotional scapegoat to vent your frustrations. I wouldn't mind if that was me. No. Had you not involved yourself in this, I would have most likely lived the rest of my life unbeknownst to the truth. You helped me more than enough. If anything, I'm the one at fault for everything that has gone down tonight. Had I not introduced them to each other, Pumpkin would still be with us. Can't let yourself get stuck in the trappings of that kind of thinking. Quoting advice from an idiot. Hey, sorry for interrupting, but we were on our way home. You arrived here with Pumpkin and Crescent Moon, didn't you? We can give you a lift back to the city if you don't mind. Right. Thanks. Excuse my self-pitying. For what it's worth, meeting you has been the best part of this night. Here, it's my number. Hope that we'll cross our paths under better circumstances once more. Ooh. Cool little transition slide there. Sleep. Understandable. Have enough room for one more on that sofa of yours? Sure. Close your eyes. Went to sleep. For a few seconds. The end. Aw. And a little epilogue, too? The epilogue is short, about 10 minutes, and more experimental, let's say in this way. Surely it will leave you with more answers than questions. Oh, absolutely. Panels becoming wider and wider. You're that fabled Julia that Seth was telling me about. What? Oh, yeah, sorry. You feeling alright? Yeah, just tired. Last couple of months, it's been my baseline state of existence. Oh, if you want, we can move this meeting for later. Kinda late for that, isn't it? Yeah, somewhat. Listen, I know Sefio told you I was looking for a barista, but I kind of found one already by the point they arranged this meetup. Oh, I'm fine with that. Seth was saying that the job part would be a good excuse to get to know someone new. Well, if that's so, then it's good to get to know you. Bethany, right? Beth works. Beth. Well then, would you like a drink? I don't think I've ever been to such a festive party before. Please, don't mind the audience. The only reason I even go to these is because my financial advisors said it would be better to have a local hierarchy at least know about my existence. Well, if you're interested, maybe we can give them a show in the form of a little dance? I would be glad to, but actually, I don't know how to dance. Oh, yeah, actually, neither do I. I don't even know why I said that. Please forget that. They do have karaoke, though. Aww. You seen the looks on their faces? It was amazing. Julia? Yeah? Oh. Why are you back? One of the perpetrators of the Tranquility Hotel murders has gone missing following a baffling not guilty verdict. What is this? So she made her way out of her own mess. How wonderful. She sent me a letter instead. Oh, right. You like to see the reaction of your audience, don't you? Well, I won't give you the pleasure of witnessing my sour mug. This is from over a week ago. Since the article came out, journalists were able to dig up some strange voice calls she made after her disappearance to a few of her associates. She sounded bizarre. Seems like she's been traveling all over the place for some reason. First, it was thought that she was just trying to escape the house arrest that was a condition for her not guilty verdict. Now, I'm not so sure. Hard to say what really happened. What does this have to do with me? Anything strange happen to you following that night? At all? Why did you really come here? I wanted to talk. I know things between us haven't been the same since, I can't just sit without hearing you out. I don't know what you expect to hear from me. You heard the jury. Nothing that I do from now will change that. Chin up, back straight, look at me. You haven't done what they think you did. If they made you believe you actually did it, those who are dead by your hand deserved what's coming to them. You are my daughter. Nothing will change that. Nothing will change the fact that I love you. Please just don't talk about this. I'm gonna give you what you're looking for. Whatever this thing that we have right now is working. Why change anything? You've been the most stable part of my life ever since my grandma's passing. I don't want to rock the boat while the water seems so deep. I thought that by this point things would feel different. But of course, why would they? I don't even know what I'm looking for anymore. I want to talk to the Julia I used to know. When I speak with you, it's like all I see is a stranger. Just talk to me. I don't want to give up on you, but the more we talk, the harder it is for me to carry the same sentiment. Just tell me why. I didn't think she loved me. You love her? Complicated. Yes. At least I did at first. It's so long since I've told her how I feel that I can't even be sure what love is anymore. Our relationship was complicated. Why didn't you just break up with her? I tried, but things have gotten out of hand way too quickly by then. Please, just give me one more chance. Chance for what? Making whatever that we have going on work? Beth, all I need is an answer for a simple question. Do you love me or do you not? It's... as I thought. Really good switching between the framing here. When did that happen? prior to the winter solstice 2 years ago, and yet both of you looked rather happy that day. As I've said, things became more complicated than I ever wanted them to be. The brightest moon will fade in the shadow, hun. Oh, cut the crap. So what? You just played it all for the public? I was a part of it, yes. The formation of our relationship was seen by so many eyes that of those whose words alone would give me the ability to go further than I could have on my own. With all my youth, I would uphold the romanticized ideals of independence that you bestowed upon me. Yet when I was thrust into the real world, nearly all my attempts would be all but futile. And I was contacted by the Black Sword. Once in my life, just once, I was able to make something out of myself. I wouldn't be where I was without the help of others. I wouldn't be where I am. I yearned for the help of others. Well, let's look on the bright side. Now that we're no longer together and it's all just an act, it's like we got back to our early stage of our relationship. Just two gals enjoying each other's company. Wouldn't that be nice? That was nearly 2 years ago. Quite a long charade to be played. And all for what? Make your way among some snobby aristocrats? Make my way among some snobby aristocrats. It's so nice to have a good place in our town that hasn't been touched by the Romero's greedy hands. They have so much capital, and yet they can't even add any good choices to their menus. Work under them isn't much better. Ruffin has been constantly complaining about how suffocating of a work environment they have for years. Your partner works for them? How come? Oh, well, I'm a relatively small business owner. She was looking for a job. I didn't have any opportunities for her. For years by now? Well, you see, please keep this just between us, but I've been preparing to employ her right before this autumn. Oh, well, their loss for someone like your partner to slip away from their grasp. What a wonderful timing to have their wounds that last so much longer in such a busy season. Will you let her do one of those adorable drawings on top of the coffee with hearts and little faces on them? No dish is truly good without those. Romeros are so stingy, they don't see how much the little stuff like that matters for the proper energizing experience. Beth knows how to do that. My humble little cafe will run well enough with her behind the counter. What, you want me to come work for you after all this time? Why? You said yourself that you hate to work under the Romeros, don't you? Thank you. Really, really thank you. I thought that after all we've been through, you would want to keep me a fair distance away from you. I wasn't the one who was afraid of getting close when it mattered the most. Now I just want to salvage as much happiness and control over my life as I can after all this. I just want to be happy. I want to be free. I want for it all to end. Hey Jules, I could really use someone to talk to right now. Are you even there? Oh, that's her as a kid. Gotcha. So this is about. She canceled tonight's plan. Black Sword in the shade. Cops will eat them up as suspects. New deed. Point fingers. Police will finish the paperwork. Need suspects. The whole point and the reason I agreed to this is that it would look like an accident. Some guy who decided to go out for a night smoking, slipping and falling to his death on the sharp spikes at the very bottom of the ravine. Once they'll start thinking about foul play, they can get on to us. Not if we'll be careful. Regardless, it's too late to back out now. You've got your first part of the payment, and when you'll stop with this whining, you can take the second alongside the knife to do the deed. Try to pull a fast one on me, and you know what'll happen to you. Do we have it clear? Yes, Miss Quintessence. Then go and enjoy the party. I will join you soon after. Going into her room. Just leave and pretend I haven't seen anything. Leave. Why won't you leave? Just... Hey. Lilia, what are you doing? Wait, is that? Thought you'd be interested to see this. Oh, wow. How long did you know about it? For a while, but our last visit didn't give me much opportunity to bring it up. Right. You want to see the best this hotel has to offer while there's no one here? Not gonna lie, I expected something more luxurious than this. At least open windows in this one. It's quite a good view. Listen, there was something I wanted to talk to you about. Jules, will you? Broken heart in the same shape as the knife. Ooh. Well, serviceman, bring us more coffee. How's your evening going so far? Oh, I don't know. There wasn't much to do ever since most of the guests have gone away. You? You know, finding my ways to paint away the monotony of the days. And how's Bethany? I haven't seen her since she left the party. Seems like she's gone to sleep or just isn't answering my knocks. Party might have quieted down, but it isn't over yet. Who knows? Maybe she'll join us after all. Maybe. Really nice framing. Oh! Been a while since the two of us were in the same bedroom overnight. Strange to say, but it seems like the most intimate the two of us have been since the early days of our relationship. Missed it. I know you might be a bit disappointed in the whole killing you thing, but I won't lie. I was glad to finally be done with it all. For all you put me through. Didn't I deserve the satisfaction of putting a blade through your heart? Missed the mark somewhat there. It's hard to go into this stuff blindly, but that's nothing new for either one of us. Please, just leave. Leave me already. Thank you. Ooh. Following a bizarre number of appearances all over the world, Helen Q, the alleged perpetrator of the Tranquility Hotel murders, was found dead on top of an abandoned building's closed-off roof. The cause of death was dehydration. Following the death of major owner, Quintus Hotel has been bought out by the Romero Inc. Ooh. Interesting. Very interesting. Hmm. Some answers, many more questions. Exactly what I expected going into that epilogue. Very, very fun. I had a delightful time with this. I'm currently slowly working on the structure of a mystery for the next Gaming Cases series, parallel to work on my other project. It'll be an Outer Wilds-esque investigation about finding a lost media video game. Instead of Halloween, it will be more of a winter holiday themed. Hard to predict the timing of its release, but it'll be at least 2 more years. Time to rant, Raccoon Boy? I mean, I had a good time. More raving than ranting, I suppose. This was delightful. I think you really, really hit the mark of especially reminding me of those old Flash games that I played when I was a kid. Granted, I wasn't good at them. I cycled through a lot of them, but like when you're a kid and you're on the internet and Flash games exist, you just sort of play them because they're there. And so you get familiar with pretty much everything that's there, in a sense. And so this was really nice because it reminded me a lot of those games. Especially, I mean, considering that it was free and the way that it's constructed, it reminds me a lot of those old Flash games that I used to play as a kid. So that was very, very delightful. I liked that a lot. Really solid writing. Maybe a couple more passes, I think, in terms of nailing the precise diction, structure, and tenses for the English language. There were some, awkward, present, past tense confusion there. I think punctuation, commas, and the like would have gone a long way into making it a bit more of an easier reading experience. I know sometimes I stumble just because I'm reading, but other times I stumbled because it was a little hard to read the pace of the sentence without commas and the like. So in terms of notes, that's maybe the only one that I really have is more to brush up on syntax and sentence structure, which is admittedly very difficult with the English language because syntax is just kind of like, if it feels right, it is, English is my third language. My proofreaders have a tough job. Yeah, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. If it's not your first language, if you're not perfectly proficient in it, you're going to make small mistakes that, granted, I'm probably only really noticing because it's my only language and I've got a degree not only in literature but also in teaching it, right? So I'm pretty dialed in to when there's going to be something a little bit off with something like that. But even then, it's not enough to actively impede the reading experience. It's just something that me, as a native speaker and someone more proficient in the language, I pick up on a lot more actively. That's really the only nitpick that I have. And I noticed that a lot with a lot of games where the developers, where English isn't their first language. It's just something that comes with people who learn English as a second or third language, you know? A lot of the intricacies of writing English come from speaking English, and speaking English extremely often, right? A lot of the time, stuff in writing is only like that because that's how it's said. And you can't really figure that out when you learn proper syntax a lot of the time. I can tell you have an English lit since you sound like my professor critiquing my writing. I try to be delicate when I can. But there was a lot of really good stuff there. Even with, you know, obviously not like your own admitted struggling with the language to some degree, or small slip-ups with the language, you're still incorporating some stuff like the wordplay that you had, that I can't remember exactly what it was, but I remember, you know, my ears perking up a little bit and enjoying that. Good intrigue, good leading of the conversations and feeling like they flow naturally into one another. And something that's very difficult, especially with mystery stories like this, something that I really appreciate of the Devil for doing so well, is an ability to lead the player naturally into sorry, my throat is very dry. Lead the player naturally into what piece of evidence they should be thinking of, or where they should be going with their thinking in terms of clues. That's something that I'm becoming more and more appreciative of the more I start to play mystery stories like this and the more I start to get back into Ace Attorney. I know that even with like the earlier Ace Attorney games, there were a lot of times where it didn't do a great job of leading the player to the right line of thinking. And I think you did that a couple of times here, and that's very admirable. Releasing Casing on Steam was an amazing experience. I get giddy whenever I see that some random fellow with 3 subscribers made a playthrough of it. It's very interesting to see how folks interact with stuff you make. Absolutely, yeah. And just on a personal note, I'm probably going to be going through this again on my own time to read the developer commentary. I've said this many times before on stream. Developer commentary is one of my favorite things in the entire world. With no exaggeration whatsoever, I love developer commentary. There are few things I enjoy more than getting to see someone explain their art and explain their thought process and just show me what was behind what I just experienced. I love to look behind the curtain, or in another sense, I love to be invited behind the curtain. It's one thing to sneak a peek yourself. It is another for the stage crew to open it up to you and to guide your hand as you walk inside of it. That is something that I love. I love feeling like I have been privy to something behind the scenes. And it is that, like, it is an extension of trust, or even just an extension of, you know, the love that went into making the piece of art. I really, really, really adore dev commentary. So I'm really excited to go through this again and to read the dev commentary that was in here. And the bit of stuff that I did get to see, I loved it. I had a great time with this. Delightful little 2-hour experience, especially for free. Fantastic art, framing, composition. Like I said, you did a really good job with the art assets in particular, making them stick out really strongly in my mind as pieces of evidence. There was sorry, never any confusion as to where a piece of evidence came from or what a piece of evidence was, with the exception of the sticky note, which I never actually found, right? And again, the writing is solid enough that I was able to pick up on very small pieces of evidence and make connections. Like when the article mentioned that the Black Sword was a son, rather than Cephio being an unspecified gender, right? That was really nice. And I love that that was just a very small detail, and I felt smart for picking up on it. So it was a very fun mystery. It had some intrigue. It kept me guessing. And I had a lot of little moments where I felt smart for making deductions about it. I would, all in all, call that an oh god, I need to get some water after this. An overwhelming success. At least in terms of my books and what I look for in mystery stories, or mystery games, rather. I would call this an overwhelming success. Fantastic work. As I've already said before, I'm extremely excited to see anything that comes next. Old Man Jelly has fallen apart. I do look somewhat grizzled in this form, don't I? The bag is slightly more like fur-esque in this form. Makes it look like I got like a white beard on that angle. This is the Professor Twilight Years vibes. Ooh. On that note, I think that's all I've got in the tank for today. Longer stream than I was expecting. Not a longer stream than I would have wanted. I had a good time. I greatly enjoyed this. Look forward to the VODs later. Thank you again for all who are here to watch. Thank you, Nick, for the game. Thank you, Barry, for the game. Thank you, Nick, for the model. I had a delightful time. Is there anyone? I don't know. There's no one we can raid because they all raided me, huh? Oh! Thank you for glazing, Nick. Anytime. It is my sole duty in this life to praise artists for things they do well. If there is one thing in this world that I will hold myself to, let it be that. Until next time, have a good one, folks. I'll see you Sunday with more Great Ace Attorney. Case 2. See ya!